Hello, hello.
What up?
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Queen PR. How are you?
I am so good. It's Tuesday.
It is.
May or may not have noticed. So you're probably like, I'm watching Fan Club on a Tuesday. So it is this very, very special week in those Wrestling Girls universe. So Thursday is Krista B's birthday. So hi, Rakarsha, and also Rakarsha's birthday. Their birthday
Yeah.
twin. So the week kind of got scrambled up a little bit. We are kicking off Krista B's birthday celebration tomorrow night, actually in Brooklyn. So that's where I will be Wednesday night. So that is why we are having fan club on a very, very special night. And life be lifing. So we are here on a Tuesday. So thank you very, very much for joining us. And it's the night after Raw and also the night of NXT. So it's not the worst thing that we have opened up the fan club on a Tuesday night, right, Brian?
Not the worst thing at all, especially after as good as Raw was last night. So it's like fresh on our minds. And it's NXT Roadblock, which is like one of their TV premium specials. Like we wouldn't call it pay-per-view because we're not paying. So
Yeah, it's a big night for
yeah. So it's
NXT since
and
Vengeance, I would say.
absolutely. Think you
Yeah.
planned it this way.
I might,
You and
how
Krista
the
B.
universe kind of, does its thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those weeks where the universe just like did its thing. So for those that are joining us for the very first time, TWG Fan Club is our weekly wrestling fan club where wrestling fans, we get together once a week on Twitch exclusively and we just chat the recent things going on in wrestling. What happened on Raw? What happened on SmackDown? What happened on NXT? What pay-per-views? We're usually with the crew. Shout out to Seindole and Justin, who I hope will be joining us soon. Justin actually is a co-host on Turnbuckle Talk, Twitter Spaces show, also recapping news. So he is, booked and busy, so he's over there. He'll hopefully join us. But that is why it's just Brian and I today. But usually we have the crew, and it's a fun time. I love our Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern. We watch Dynamite as a family. But yeah, so we're here on Tuesday. Before we get into things, because like Brian alluded to, Raw was jam packed. I thought I was going to call it a night early, and my ass had to stay up and watch every last second of it. We will be watching NXT as a family at 8. It's been a great week. Our it's Mania season. So
Mm-hmm.
our favorite superstars are all over right now. They're doing press. They're going to their courtside. They are out here. So we're definitely going to talk about that. We're going to recap everything. So we're going to take time to basically let you know everything that's happening in addition to all this shit. So Thursday, Krista B's birthday. It's so crazy. Like you talked about the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Krista B's birthday falls on the second Thursday of the month, which is when we have Thirsty Thursday. So we will be having our monthly live stream, streaming everywhere, where we sip and we kiki. It'll be me, Krista B, Christina, of course, and a lot of guests because, of course, we have to show out for Krista B's birthday. It will be a fun time, so make sure you definitely join us for that. We just concluded our Charlotte Flair Spotlight series, so check that out. We actually, I guess this is a fan club exclusive. We have merch coming in honor of Women's Empowerment Month in partnership with For Your Wear. That is dropping very, very soon. And when I say soon, I mean like as soon as like maybe tonight or like tomorrow. So make sure you check out thosewrestlinggirls.com because we have Women's Empowerment Month inspired merch coming. So please stay tuned. It's Mania season. We all want to be lit during this time. So make sure you check that out. There is no Krista B sound off this Friday because when I tell you my sister Krista is a birthday person, she is celebrating all week. So you have us here tonight, Tuesday for TWG Fan Club, talking all the shit. Check out our Charlotte episode, new merch coming. We also have Patreon content.
Mm-hmm.
If you have not subscribed on Patreon, it is $1 a month to support the brand. You get exclusive weekly content from myself, or Krista B, and there's a lot of things in the works. So yeah, check out our Patreon. Krista B has a new show called Getting Checked. It's a spinoff of Seconds Off, where she invites friends to basically check people that need to be checked and check situations in wrestling that need to be checked when it comes to injustices or anything really that Krista B wants to, lash out about. And I think because she's an informative, like, wrestling fan at heart, she's still I like to say, like, kid at heart when it comes to wrestling. So her, like, passion for things is so relatable, and she's able to express herself so, like, she's like all our, like, cousin that we're like, yeah. So shout out to Rakarsha. She does support everything. She actually joined us on Spaces right after the China doc, and that's something else that we like to do on special occasions. And it's really fun getting together and just really sharing our thoughts on these things, because Twitter is an outlet for that, but it's also good to get together and just, like, talk these things out. Spaces can get very heated and confrontational. And I think our Spaces last night, recapping that event, was more of, like, wrestling fans getting together and sharing our experiences and our opinions. And it was a really good combo. Brian, you were there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, especially after watching that documentary, because it was heavy. We're not going to act like it wasn't heavy, but I
China's
thought,
pretty.
yeah, and you think about what she meant to everybody, and I know it's always great to hear from y'all, ladies, what y'all talk about what she meant to you, because a lot of times, if you grew up in a wrestling bubble, you might have not had too many women, young girls, I should say, when we was children, that was into wrestling as heavy, right? That you could relate to. I did, because my sisters and my aunts that's around my age, but I know a lot of my friends didn't. So they didn't really get to see how much China meant to young girls. So it was great to hear that perspective from y'all. So I definitely really appreciate it. Also Shantice kind of, telling us, like, oh, Ahmed Johnson was the one. And I was
Right.
like, oh yeah, because we kept saying top guy. Who was the top guy? Of course you're thinking Brett, you're thinking Sean,
And
but
he was arguably a top guy at one point.
so I remember when Todd Pettengill made the statement, the first African American Intercontinental Champion. That was something. This is going to show you how much of a in the wrestling bubble I was. That was probably the first time I had heard the term African American, because we always said black, right? Growing up in the household, we had, our parents was removed from hearing the word colored.
Right.
So they was always saying black growing up. And then when it came to us, that's what we heard. But this was like in the mid 90s was probably the first time that was the first time I heard the term African American. And I'm like, what do you mean African American? So yeah, he was a top guy.
Yeah, so that was a dope experience. Anything about China is hard. It's a roller coaster. So being able to express all of that with other people in our community was amazing. So, stay tuned on Spaces. We will definitely be there more often. And if you want us to, let us know. So we'll take a quick break, and then we will get into it.
Well. That was really quick.
Sometimes it be like that. It's a lot going on. So one thing I do like to do, and why I love those Wrestling Girls platform, is we always want to talk about what the women are doing in and outside of the ring. Because, WWE and even the media to some extent like to talk about what they like to talk about, what they like to focus on. And there's a lot of things that don't, to me, get enough credit, or, it's not talked about enough, and especially with the women in wrestling. So I want to kind of go through some of the places that our WWE superstars have been doing? Hey, Mike. So those that didn't see, but the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair and Montez were courtside at the Celtics game. So one thing I love is when you kind of see the wrestlers kind of going mainstream, like they're invited to the States. You want to take pictures with them. You know, Bianca Belair is taking pictures with like Megan Thee Stallion. So people are excited to meet them. Just, you know, so somewhere else that Charlotte Flair was always does a lot of community, and I think the fact that she was always a heel, she was never able to sort of like oh look, there they go. I mean, look at that. Look at Bianca.
Yeah, front and center. I love it.
Oh my god. And then of course she has to color coordinate, because what is Bianca Belair without color coordinating with things? Oh, look at Montez. Yeah. And imagine even if all those people that Bianca's taking a picture with in that like lower right section, you know, don't watch wrestling on the regular, they're gonna recognize that belt.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are paying attention to social media, they might just know. And the fact that Bianca Belair and Montez have been everywhere recently, of course, because they're filming their new show, might recognize Bianca Belair. So this type of press, this type of exposure, especially during Mania season, is exactly what they need to be doing. And when it comes to being the face of a company, I don't think there is anyone better than Bianca Belair. And then you have Montez Ford. So like I said before, I always use my dad as a gauge for how things are coming off on WWE TV, because he's a casual fan that just watches the weekly show. And he saw Bianca and Montez on, I believe, the Tamron Hall show. And she was like, that's a really like handsome couple. They're good people. They're good role models, ranting and raving about them. And he only knows them as their characters on TV. So for him to see them, on this talk show and really be impressed and say like they're good role models, I'm like, they're doing exactly what they're meant to be doing. So imagine who else they're touching. And speaking of, being a light to the community, Charlotte Flair, who is now coined the People's Champion. And this is, I was alluding to before, Charlotte Flair is known to be a heel, a very arrogant person that doesn't give a fuck. But she does a lot of charity work, and she is a face of WWE, whether or not she's holding that championship, and she does a lot of press. I mean, look at her. She's gorgeous. And she's very personable. And so she recently was out in the streets at the Ryan Foundation. And oh my God, look at that little girl's face.
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre. But everybody was in DC. I was in DC, okay? But I don't know where you was at. But Charlotte Flair, Drew McIntyre visited the Children's National Hospital and met kids and was the ambassador that she should be, honestly. And one thing I will also say is they do a lot of things that are not photographed or are like on their Instagram story, and it's just like not a big thing. So they're not just doing this because it's Mania season. Like WWE definitely tries to do things when they're in different cities. So my favorites are next. They are also out here. So as you know, the Bella Twins are truly one of those people that took wrestling and ran with it. They definitely was not going to let their careers end in the ring, and they really took their brand and ran with it. So the Bella Twins are hosting a new show, and guess what it is? A dating show called Twin Love, and they help twins find love. And I don't know if there's anything more perfect than that, especially because they both were able to find loves that are like very suited to them. And if anyone has watched the Bella Twins or subscribed to their YouTube channel or whatever, they are really fun to watch on reality TV. And putting them together to host a dating reality show, whoever their agent is, like, yes, because they are going to be a trip and super entertaining. So that's going to be on Amazon. So if you love the Bella Twins or you're a reality show junkie, I work at a tabloid. They are all obsessed with reality dating competition shows, and they put this on this list just off the strength of that. So check it out if that happens to be your thing. Speaking of your thing, Liv Morgan, who is a fan of horror films, she loves all that scary shit. She was on the Scream red carpet. She was styled by King Troy, as you know, who is Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch's stylist, and Charlotte Flair's as well. He styled Liv's outfit, which is gorge. It's very Liv. It's very Scream-esque. It's very horror it girl type of vibe. And if there's anyone that can be that, it is Liv Morgan. She's killing it. And this isn't the first red carpet she's been on. She was at, I want to say, the Chucky premiere. She also guested on Chucky, and they always do kind of Halloween season. She's always kind of involved. She cosplays. So this is the perfect thing for her, to be invited to these sorts of events. And she looks amazing. And the fact that she, went alone, you know what I mean? Like WWE was like, yeah, girl, go do your thing. Beautiful thing. I think she looks great. I want to welcome everyone that's joining us. We always gonna rep for, the Bella Twins, but yeah, she definitely cleans up nicely. Jermaine, stop it.
Bad liquor drinking Jermaine in the building.
She does look good. She does look really good. You love to see it, and she's so happy. Yeah. And I think the cool things about these appearances is that they're sending, the superstars to things that are suited for what they're into, what their brand is. So it feels very authentic. Liv is very happy to be there. Speaking of authenticity is Zelina Vega. So she is heavy into anime. She's heavy into gaming. That is totally who she is. That is literally her whole life, basically. She is a very popular Twitch streamer, cosplayer. That is a life that she loves. She has numerous anime-inspired tattoos. So she has been crushing it with Crunchyroll. You see what I did? You see what I did? She's been on the red carpet. She's been attending panels and conventions and doing a lot in the anime world. And I really wanted to take the time out to talk about what Zelina Vega is doing, because I don't feel like it's being talked about enough. It's something that Zelina Vega is very passionate about. And she's dedicated to that. The other thing is, you got to represent for those niche communities, because if you think wrestling is niche, anime is even more so. So I definitely want to give Zelina Vega her flowers, and the fact that she is representing WWE, she's representing her own brand, and as usual, she looks amazing. She is a cosplay queen.
Absolutely. And this is what she's been doing. Like me, I'm a huge fan of Mortal Kombat, and like watching her. And before she was Zelina Vega, I've been watching her when, excuse me, when she was Rosita, just Thea Trinidad, when she was going, under her name. And I'm like, yo, she's in the Mortal Kombat like that. And I would want to, like, have one match. Probably lose. I don't put as much time in it, but like that's like a bucket list, a goal, right? To play Zelina Vega in Mortal Kombat. You've seen her cosplay as Jade from Mortal Kombat. Obviously, she's had gear inspired, and she's cosplayed as Aaliyah. So It's something that she does, and she gave up her career essentially. Well, put it on pause so she could switch.
Willing to dive into that if need be.
Bingo.
Yeah, which I completely respect. So now, and that's another reason why I want to make sure I address that, because she did sacrifice that part of her career if she needed to focus on anime, and what she did with that, she was going to do that. And now look, able to be in WWE and also be front and center. So kudos to you, Zaylina. I'm very excited for everything that you have going on. Fun fact, which I don't know, I just think this is funny, and our producer is amazing. But Vince McMahon, he sometimes can be a little out of touch. Had no idea who Naruto was.
Don't mention his name. I told you what happened on the Wrestling Realm. I don't want that to happen here at the fan club.
Can you remind me what happened on the Wrestling Realm?
Somebody always has internet issues, whether it's Dwayne or you. So I don't want you to have internet issues because you've been mentioned BKM.
Okay. Cool. So he who must not be named had no idea who Naruto, what that was, and she had to explain. And I can only imagine what that conversation was like. I really wish I was like a fly on the wall. Because that's probably hilarious.
I mean, like, I wouldn't know. Like, I know I'm familiar, right? Like, I wouldn't think if she brought it up, and I'd be like, so what movie does he star in, or something like that? You know what I mean? But like you said, that conversation was probably something like, so what do you mean this anime character? And so forth.
Is it one of those things where you kind of want to like hide it from him so he doesn't try to recreate it? Kind of like, like where it's like,
remind me, I got a story for you.
Okay.
After the show. I can't say it on there.
Okay. Got you. Shout out to Black Thoughts. Shout out to Mike. And Jermaine, you're doing good.
The family is in the building.
A lot of family is in the building. So to wrap up this sort of news segment, of course, I have to talk about my favorite, and that's Mercedes.
I'm sorry, I forgot to show the video.
Oh, you have to show
Zelina. Just a quick behind the scenes video, because it was so good.
She's so good at these sorts of things. I
love seeing people in that element.
Right? It warms my heart. It's like moments I live for. Moments I fucking live for.
Yeah, we put it on mute just because,
Gorgeous. Yeah, we don't want to get kicked off air or anything like that,
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Very
she's just
cool.
Getting this opportunity and just, getting a chance to be her.
Right. It's very inspiring, to see her, because she is one of those people, that did bet on themselves.
Exactly.
And that's not an easy thing to do. And I think that's why she came back and is able to do a lot of things that she's doing. And also to be able to have a spouse that works for the rival company and still be able to navigate that, I think it says a lot about her.
And let's just make sure we make it clear. She didn't come crawling back. She didn't come begging back,
Right. 1,000%. So let's move on to Mercedes Moné, who was recently, she's been everywhere, it feels like. Everywhere and like nowhere at the same time, because she's so like, you don't know what's coming with Mercedes, which I love. But she was on the Mandalorian panel. She was in season 1 with her castmates. And the fact that people got to like listen to Mercedes Bernardo, I'm going to call her that in this instance, because that's her, where she, she gets her credits, but she was able to answer questions from fans and, being able to be in the spotlight for something that's not just wrestling, and something that was authentic to her and an experience that she valued and her fans really valued, and opened her up to the Star Wars universe. So that was dope. She took photos with what's his name? The Hulk. She took photos with him. She was just so, yeah, it's just like you said, seeing people being in their element was amazing. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll post the link on our Twitter. Check out the panel. You can watch it. She also did a couple interviews. So Mercedes Moné has been out there. Didn't she? There she go on the red carpet. Yes, yes, yes. Love the hair. It's very different. She's also getting to experiment with her look, which I'm very excited about as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we love it. Mercedes. There's so much more coming for her. She brings her championship belt everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is another thing I love. She was also with Trinity. They did a signing recently, and it's always good to see them together. And Trinity looks so happy. She also changed her Twitter and Instagram handle. Well, her Instagram, or was it her Twitter? One of them. She changed to Trinity something. I think it was like Trinity Identity, and then it was like something else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and now there's like no mention of WWE or Naomi on her social medias.
Oh no.
I know. But you know, I had the same feeling about Sasha, and now I'm so excited about everything that she's doing. So it might be like one of those things.
You're right.
One of those things. But yeah, you know, WWE superstars are out here. The women are out here. They are brand ambassadors, and we love seeing it. We love seeing people thriving in the mainstream, in media, being introduced to other audiences. We love that. Because wrestling is cool as fuck. And it's good to see them out there doing their thing.
No, it really is, you know, at the end of the day. And we just get to see people embrace themselves, right? You know, back in the day, we talked about like kayfabe and, you know, seeing the Undertaker, and we only want to see him as a dead man, not so much him as the American badass. But you know, we didn't know what else Bret Hart was into or Shawn Michaels was into, and this just comes with the great evolution of the business. You know, we can still keep kayfabe fun, but we can also have the evolution of the business. So I'm excited. I really love this new segment.
Me too. I do too. I like talking about these things. It's something that I've always been passionate about. And I think the bridge between WWE and mainstream media, pop culture, is getting shorter and shorter. So I'm glad to be the ones to be able to talk about it. Yeah. So it's basically 8 o'clock. So just like on Wednesdays where we watch Dynamite as a family, we're gonna watch NXT as a family as well. So make sure you turn it on, keep your Twitch open, and we still have so much more to go.
Mm-hmm.
We still have members of the crew that could join us. So the TWG Fan Club is open, and we're really about to get into shit. So let's take a quick break. And we'll be right back.
You said quick? All right, it won't be as quick, but it'll be quick.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, KRISTA B, one half of those wrestling girls, and we hope that you're enjoying this current episode that we have for you. You know, I had to come in here and interject and plug ourselves real quick. We want to tell you about our merch exclusively on foryourwear.com. That's right, For Your Wear has all of those wrestling girls merch that you want and need, not only for yourself, but for your friends, your family, and your loved ones. We have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we have tank tops. So please go over to foryourwear.com to make sure you get those exclusive merch, those exclusive deals, and tell them that TWG sent you.
Woo!
Yep. You should go on foryourwear.com because we actually have women's empowerment inspired merch coming.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited about that.
Yes. So foryourwear.com. Please check that out. So let's go back to SmackDown. Which I've been wanting to get to on the simple fact that I was there. And I love experiencing firsts in wrestling. And that was my very first DC show.
How'd you feel about DC?
I had the most amazing time.
Okay.
Like usually when I've gone, it's been like for something like a convention. So I've been in the hotel basically, and then whatever like restaurants are right outside the hotel. So being able to go to a show and like meet all the people that I finally met Britt Waters.
Yeah,
who
shout out
is
to the
the
homie.
wonderful person ever. I got to see the fam, Doc, Justin, of course. Who else? Vaughn, the crew. So that was
share
good.
this real quick. Oh, you frozen. You there?
Mm-mm.
It's not showing up. The screen, the picture.
Oh, look at my people. Oh, see, I love being able to take photos like that. Shout out to Doc, who was not gonna rest until it happened. Yeah, and I'm sure there's a couple people that was there that were missing out on. I really love SmackDown with NDC. I absolutely enjoyed it. Also, you were there as well. I love it.
You got the Dr. D experience.
I did.
When we trying to get those photos together, he gonna make sure it happened. And then shout out to Britt. Britt was like, "Now we need the non-selfie version.
Good version of this shit."
You sound just like.
Yeah, definitely squad goals. Oh my god! So my dad just texted me and said Liv Morgan is at the Knicks game. She's beautiful.
Oh wow!
Look out, just out here. Go ahead, Liv. She's also from New Jersey, so she's basically a hometown. You know, we love a hometown gal, and she is living it up. Okay, so I don't know if the rest of the crew timed this.
I know, right?
But they both literally popped up at the same time. Let's welcome the rest of the fan club crew. Hello, Justin.
What do you guys want to talk about? So what do you guys want to talk about?
About DC, SmackDown in DC.
You're.
I definitely want to make it a tradition to go to all the DC shows. Hey, Seindole.
What's this about us showing up at the same time?
Yo, yeah, literally in like a couple minutes of each other, just popped up.
I like that. I love that for us. I love that for us.
Well, because we saw you put up the photo of like the group picture from DC, and it's like, yo, you can't exclude me. I'm here. we finished.
Right. I know speeding somewhere in Hartford, Connecticut. There's a traffic light with me speeding on it, but you know what? It's all worth it. It was all.
I love that you guys are here. The fan club is
Peace to the chat.
Peace to the chat.
Yes, we love everyone that is here. We're watching NXT as a family as well. So that's the one good thing about this special night. We're doing it on Tuesday. On a Tuesday.
This is actually quite fun. I like this setup of Tuesdays.
I was like, this is, it's not hump day. I have nothing against it, by the way, but it's different.
You know, it's like remember beginning of the day when Raw would flex. At first, before wrestling was like super popular, you just missed Raw that week because of the dog show, and I used to hate the dog show in USA.
Why would you want to watch a dog show over Raw?
Exactly, but then when wrestling got real good, they was like, "All right, we're just gonna put it on a Thursday."
Yeah, like we gotta show it.
Yeah, USA was like, "No, we can't miss out those demos."
But SmackDown was actually a good show, which I appreciated. So not only was I able to be in DC with my people, but it ended up being a really good show.
No, it definitely was. You know, I mean, Roman was there, so you know, we got to see him. We got to see Dominic Mysterio come out there,
Tribal Chief.
So I thought it was good. Charlotte Flair, my goodness, that robe. I'm not sure if she was on. No, she wasn't on the main show. But
that was
she was a dark match.
But that robe, I'm just like still in all over because like
listened
watching the Treasure show and they was chasing the Ric Flair butterfly robe. Then to see that Charlotte one and it looked better than Ric Flair, and I know that might sound blasphemy, But I mean, Flair already
So who-
told y'all that his. I'm just saying, Flair's already told y'all that his daughter's better than him, and she dresses better than him too. So, and Ric Flair can dress. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, Charlotte, you could see like Jimmy Uso for people wasn't there. He was like,
Yeah,
on.
they definitely, bow down to the queen, the people's champion, as she's calling herself now. And she had
I
to
like
make
that. I like it. I just like it all, man. I just like
so a month from now when she beats Rhea.
You disrespectful. Why you gotta go there, bro? You're so rude.
Wait, whoa.
Wait. You mean beat her again? Because she's already beaten Rhea once at WrestleMania. You saying she's gonna go for a 2-piece?
I don't like this because when y'all start talking like this, and then if she actually does not win, and y'all start getting butthurt, then I gotta be the one to rate it a certain way, and then you start coming, well, why wasn't it this type of match? I don't want to hear it.
Gonna give her 5 stars.
No, I'm not going. You don't know that. You don't know what type of show they about to put on.
Is going to be.
Yeah, but then I don't want you butthurt when you know what? We're just gonna. Can you just?
4.8.
I want to ask production to just go forward because these people foreshadowing get on my nerves. Continue, boss lady.
Enhance for calm.
Carlos Herrera in the building.
Salute.
We got a packed house in the fan. We got a packed VIP section.
Yeah, we are wrestling. I mean, yeah, was that we are wrestling? Yeah, in Brooklyn. The Jay Bougie show, we'll call it that.
Oh yeah.
They need to tell your boy stop starting that mess again, because he put out a tweet. I told him we're not doing this again. Like
this is what happens when you're money. And sometimes people don't understand.
People are sitting quietly minding their own business, and he's bothered about that.
No, they're not. They're not minding their business. They're not showing up to the plate.
I'm not doing this again.
No, let's do it again. The price of the brick going up. Be vocal.
Can you kick me out of the club for like 2 seconds? Because I volunteer myself to tribute. I don't want to get involved in this. I can't do it.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
You in it, fam. You in
and
it.
Technically, Brian was. And technically, Brian, is your fault that I'm always tossed into this. This time I had to put a stop to it. That I'm always thrown into this whole scenario, especially with the payback and someone sitting down quietly, and then there was supposed to be a rematch, but now we don't know when we're booking it. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Oh,
it's a lot.
It's very long-term storytelling.
It is. It's bloodline story. We're calling it bloodline storytelling. That's what it is.
Ooh,
that's what it is. It's bloodline storytelling.
That's right, Jermaine. You in the club, you ain't going out.
Those gates closed. I like that.
That door is closed and locked.
So, but yeah, SmackDown was a good show.
Yeah, DC's got the last couple we've had in DC. They've been really good shows. Like the last 2 years. Like post-pandemic, we like every time they've come to DC, the shows have been good. Whether it's Raw, SmackDown, or last show, which means bring a PLE back.
Oh, I think it's
WWE,
possible.
I'm going to stay on your necks until you bring back a premium live event to DC. We have not gotten one since 2016, and that was Battleground. Y'all used to have The Rock do pay-per-views here. Used to have Stone Cold do pay-per-views here. It's been over 7 fucking years. Can we please get a premium live event?
Keep in mind, though, we still don't know where what Survivor Series is going to end up. We still don't know where next year Royal Rumble might end up. We still don't know where a lot of stuff's going to end up. And then, mind you, they're bringing back King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. So, never say never.
So King and Queen of the Ring.
In Judah, but I'm saying, like, there's more opportunities to bring more pay-per-views elsewhere now.
And with Rumble, they've made it clear they like doing the baseball stadiums or Astrodome. Like, they want that 50,000 seat venue. So I don't see them doing DC has an outside baseball stadium in January. Yeah, we're not gonna do a Rumble there.
I'm laughing at the comment. I'm not laughing at you, Justin.
Yeah.
Amen.
No, I said Dom know about Gates. He'd be like, yo,
Hard time.
when I was in jail, me and Laemi, they taught me some things where you put things up your butt. There's about Gates, how you use Gates. It's like, yo, this is what we do. Watch you work out.
Nah,
Shout out to Seamus.
He did hard time, and he's brave enough to come and do everything that he's doing with everything that he went through. Like, you gotta
Exactly.
Mhm.
Him and the Mountie did jail time.
Bro,
All
Yes, I'm
3
going back to
minutes
Bayley.
move on.
of his solitary confinement.
We
And
got
y'all,
a
you know
stack
what?
show.
Can we move on?
So I do want to move on because I just realized that Lita and Becky are going to be on the bump.
Ooh.
And of course.
Wait, what'd you say?
Oh, it's time to rock and roll.
Hold on, because Tienda started talking. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said, and Trish Stratus, of course, is going to be there because she's now a part of the match. So if anyone was watching Raw last
week's show.
The 6-woman tag match basically is now official. Everyone sort of speculated. I think everyone knew it was coming. So you have Lita and Becky and Trish versus Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Shirai. So I was excited about this match because it just seemed like, okay, duh, this is going to happen. But also, I wanted Damage Control as much as, I wasn't the most invested in them. I wanted them to have a WrestleMania moment. And if there's any WrestleMania moment to have, it's against Lita and Trish Stratus and even Becky at this point. All legend contenders on that team. So how do you feel about this dream match? It was obviously, I can only imagine how happy Bayley is, but are you guys feeling this for Mania?
So I'll go first. I did not see this like you said, this is a match that we also come. I didn't, because everything had been quietly building with Shayna and Ronda and them as a tag team and unit, and them possibly going for the tag team titles. So I like going out of Rumble into this Mania season. I was like, all right, we have these tag team titles. You're kind of building Shayna and Ronda to go after them. Where does that leave Becky? Where does that leave Bayley? Because at that time, Damage Control were your champions. And now that you have Becky and Lita as your champions, like, wait, so are we going to get Becky and Lita versus Ronda and Shayna, especially since it's been forever since Becky and Ronda have cross paths? And then where is that going to leave Bayley? Where was that going to leave Damage Control? So now to see it come another twist and turn to where, like, no, we're going to keep it with Becky and Bayley because they're still unfinished business with this Damage Control stuff. And now we're going to insert Trish to the 6-woman tag. So Lily from Rumble and Elimination Chamber to where we're at now, to where this match is official, they've had like 5 different pivots with what they're doing with these segment of women, which I'm excited for, because much than Ron is whoever your title holders are. So I'm thrilled with this, but it's like, hey, we went through 5 different turns to get here. So this wasn't like a linear line of like, no, this wasn't happen. Like, was it?
But it's funny because I didn't even see a linear line for Ronda and Shayna and Becky and Lita. Like, I didn't even kind of think about it. Like I knew that they now are a tag team, but I was like, is that internet wrestling community booking Shayna and Ronda for the tag championships? Because I never got that impression, to be honest with you. I just thought they were like a tag team now, fighting Natalya and whoever her tag team partner is at the moment. So, but when Becky and Lita won the championship, they were in Canada. Trish was supposed to be there, and then Becky's beefing with Bayley and Damage Control. It was even almost thought that they were gonna have a match. So to me, it just was like, when are y'all just gonna put that all together? Or either Io Shirai and Dakota Kai against Becky and Lita, and then Trish and Bayley have a one-on-one. That's what I was thinking, which I would have been happy with, because that's just another women's match on the card. But I'm kind of okay with this 6-woman tag, I guess.
I think it's great to see, because so many ways. I'm gonna plant this seed. And we talked about this last week. I'm not sure if it was why everybody had gotten on the show. It was just me and Queen PR. But I don't trust Trish Stratus.
It was with all of us, and
Okay.
I think you and I are thinking the same thing, Brian. I think that we both don't trust Trish right now.
I told y'all I'm on my WrestleMania. I'm in WrestleMania season, right? And the one thing, at one point, I had this. Oh man, I had this magazine that my grandmother had bought me one day. And it had like all the breakups from it was like it was recapping 1 through 14, right? And it had like all the breakups, and it was always every year or every other year was always like a WrestleMania breakup, right? Trish Stratus has already been a part of one of those. She has portrayed a phenomenal heel when she wrestled Christy Hemme. I wouldn't be surprised.
I just watched that WrestleMania too.
I gotta watch it. Yeah,
that was so good.
And I wouldn't be surprised if she turned on Lita and Becky Lynch and joined Damage Control. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
Joining Damage Control, no. Turning on them, yes.
They need a little
because
bit
what benefit would she have from being with Damage Control?
All right. What benefit did Ric Flair have with being with Evolution?
And
God
also
damn
keep
it, Brian.
in mind,
why you do that to me?
and also
you know how I feel about Evolution.
Didn't Becky and Trish have beef at one point too?
The most historic beef of all time. You can't talk about listen. Trish and Lita walked. They strutted the runway so that Charlotte and Sasha could run. Okay,
y'all.
Let the record show.
How down would you be for one more time to get a Trish versus Lita match?
I see it happening. I feel like we're due.
Tyson
I feel like this generation of wrestling fans needs to understand why people like me, people like Queen PR, people like Krista, people like Chris, all of us ladies are where we are today. People need to understand why we are here. We are here because of moments like that. Even if I get it on Raw, right? Even if I get it on Raw. Speaking of the devil, she shall appear. Even if I get it on Raw. Even if I get it on Raw one last time, I will not leave my seat from the nostalgia. And then I will plop my niece right in front of me to understand, like, this is what your aunt considers greatness. This generation deserves it.
TNA gave us Hogan and Sting and Hogan and Flair, right? Why not? I mean, Trish and Lita are in much better shape than those guys was.
Oh, God, yeah. And every time Trish comes back and Lita, they prove that they can still go.
But just look at this. Like, do you trust that face? Look at Trish Stratus.
She looks very conniving, and also
she looks like
you in the center of everything. They even played her music at the end of the segment. She ain't the tag team champion. There's 2 tag team champions.
I'm trying.
But yeah, you're in the center. You're in the photo shoot backstage. Like, I get it, but also like, girl, why are you there? So I do think planting the seed,
because you can't trust a big butt and a smile. First of all, her ass looks great. Secondly, her body looks great. Second of all,
Trish Stratus.
Yes, her body looks awesome. Just saying.
Because you said ass and I went Bayley.
I mean,
that too.
To be fair, Bayley was trending like all day today, and it's like, why is Bayley trending? Like everyone's like, yo, Yamula.
That Yamula.
You know what it is? It's the pants that she had on.
Baby came back thick. She came back Beyonce. That's that thick. That's Cherry Baby.
How's that?
Let me get this ready just in case, because y'all on one tonight. The fan club. Ready.
But to your point, P, look. I mean, you said it. Look at
Trish Stratus in the middle. She also helped them win. So when you think about heel, the gas to get that going, Trish can say, like, y'all wouldn't be here without me. I am Trish. She could do the whole thing. Before we move on, I want to address this comment real quick, because obviously when you have a polarizing character like Becky do a face heel turn, this type of shit down the line when you work with legends is going to happen. So of course when Becky and Lita were feuding, they didn't like each other, you know, blah blah. But fast forward, wrestling world, Becky is now a face, and she now wants to show respect to Lita, one of her heroes. And I think now it makes more sense for Trish to be the one to turn, honestly. And yeah,
but hold on.
Also look at it, and you also look at this, like, what are her options for like Becky? Like, you have damage control on one side. Bianca's busy with Asuka. Alexa's off doing something at the moment. Dana Brooke, we haven't heard from her in months. Same with Tamina. I don't know. Candice LeRae's been getting her ass whooped when I see her come on TV. Dewdrop's made it clear, like, yo, I ain't fucking with you, Becky, either. You think I forgot that Royal Rumble loss? So Becky needs help dealing with 3 women, but her options are limited. So it's like, yeah, let me go reach out to this person who I had beef with back then, but I don't now. It kind of makes sense.
I think so too. But yeah, I mean, I think as far as matches to be excited about, you know, we're gonna be excited about this match. How we got here is how we got here, but I think WrestleMania is the kickoff to something more. Because you know how usually, you know, it might stop at Mania. But I have a feeling that this is going to be a post-Mania thing, hopefully to SummerSlam.
I mean,
look at it like this. My bad, Brian. I'm gonna make this real quick. Look at it like this. We were complaining about how the women's tag team match got made last year, where it was just thrown together. Why are Sasha and Naomi all of a sudden working together? That got thrown together like out of nowhere. Carmella and Zelina haven't defended these belts in God knows how long. Now, suddenly they got to defend against Rhea and Liv, who we haven't really heard of, and then this other 4th tag team that just got made like 2 weeks prior to WrestleMania. So at least with this time around, you have a story that makes sense, because Bayley and Becky have been at it technically since SummerSlam, when Bayley stepped to her when Becky had the messed up shoulder and stuff like that. So this has been something that's kind of grown over months, and this is a tag match that makes sense compared to last year, where it's like, how did we get here? It's like, yeah, let's ignore how we got there, because
you can always throw the belts on the line. Right. You know, you can always throw the belts on the line. And I think the main thing is, like you said, P, just moving into create new chapters, right? Sometimes WrestleMania is the climax, but every story doesn't reset. Look at Edge in the Judgment Day. That started last year. So I'm excited to see where they go from here. And yeah, this is good. I thought, you know, especially being in that 10 o'clock spot. I don't do the whole ratings thing, even though, you know, I have a great understanding how it works. It's not important to my wrestling conversations, but I will say that putting the women in that primetime spotlight, I'm loving it, that they're not just throwing them in an 8 o'clock or the 8:30ish, or, you know, let's hide them in a 9 o'clock spot. No, like if this was football season, they would be falling around at halftime when people gonna be changing the channel. So this is good for them, and it's good for and I mean, just so many women's matches, which I know we're gonna get into, and that's what I'm excited to talk about.
Yeah, same. But I think I'm excited. We still have some time to go. There could be more developments that get people more excited about this match. I want to get into the storyline that everybody's talking about really quickly. And the fact that Cody and Roman actually faced off. Finally. A moment I've been waiting for. I've been talking about for weeks now. Like, how is Cody going to be? Ever since he won over Rumble, I'm like, how is he inserted in this, you know, heavy storyline we've already been invested in for like a year? And him and Roman finally faced off. What'd you guys think? Because Roman was on his shit.
Well, first off, when he said, it was so much said there, right? But Roman, I mean, I know we talk about Jay, obviously, main event Uso. Everybody want to give him an award. Let's give Roman his awards too. This is the reason why Hollywood, I'm sorry, y'all, but they're knocking down the door. See, The Rock was just cutting promos. He wasn't, let's be real. The Rock was just cutting promos, and he was funny. He was making us laugh. They said, okay, we can make him a star. Roman is taking us through drama. And it's just drama. And Seindole, please coin that phase, these bloodline stories. You know, have you said it? But when I'm looking at this, when he said
Bloodline booking.
Bloodline booking, when he said, you know what he says about me? I got it. I can't get rid of it, baby. If you and he said, let me try to do Dusty's voice because that we all know that's a thing, right? Everybody loves to do Dusty voice, baby. And you know when you get out there, baby, you just want to say. And he said, "Yeah, you got it. You got so much it you can't even get rid of if you tried." And he said, "You know what he said about you? Nothing." And I was like, "Oh."
You know what it
I
reminded
was
me
at my
of?
seat, and I was
Like, it literally it flashed me back to sitting down in Madison Square Garden, like first night without Vince McMahon, and Austin Theory shows up, and relative to anything that's going on, he's like, "You came out here to do what, Austin? What you gonna do? Yo, daddy's not here anymore to save you. Yo, daddy not here no more." Everybody, you like one thing you could credit Roman Reigns for, he gonna make you go, "Oh shit."
I was there and the audience literally did a collective
Yeah, everybody. And then all you heard was, "Where's your daddy?" And you heard the chants. Like it fed into it. You know what? And that's why you got to also give Paul Heyman credit where it's due, because everybody's biggest complaint was that why were they sending Paul Heyman to do what Roman Reigns was supposed to do? But he already see, this is why the bloodline works. This is why this is a collective. This is why he's chief counsel. He's going to set the foundation and stir the pot at the bottom to get the boiling up, come to the top. Because without that last segment,
you brought Paul Heyman. I want to just note this. Today, Samu, who's Alpha Roman's first cousin, for those who do not know, he posted a picture of Paul Heyman with the big cell phone and the Wild Samoans, and it's just like it's just that reminder of how
we
Paul
go back.
Heyman, they go back. That's why even when the stuff with Roman and Brock, Roman was looking at, don't you talk to him like that. That bloodline runs deep. And then you know how it is when you got them family members that's like, okay, we're not like me and brother Hugh, right? My cousins, my twin cousins, the Usos, my Usos look at him as blood also. You know what I mean? So, and when he posted that photo today, I was like, wow, but like you said, that's why he was there as what you say, chief counsel.
Yep. The layers, storyline.
And then just to add to it, like it wasn't just like the stories that Roman was telling. It's also him pulling up receipts and stating facts. Like he laid the belts down and was like, "Yo, have you ever held that title before? Have you even fought for this title ever? Because I don't remember you main eventing or going or holding none of it. It was just like, damn, he came with fucking. He whipped the shit out and was like, yeah, I'm here. And I haven't, last time I checked, you weren't even nowhere in resemblance of this level. You haven't reached anywhere near this time. It's like, damn.
But the best promo are the ones where they speak facts. Like Roman didn't say anything that wasn't true. Nothing that was made up.
Content. WrestleMania Mount Rushmore.
There you go.
Ooh, like who's like the best stars or the best WrestleManias?
The stars, like the headliners. You could do headline. I mean, so many ways, right? I would do headliners, not so much the best matches. But Roman's on my Mount Rushmore already.
He has to.
I mean, how many has he fucking main evented, whether we wanted him to or not?
31, 32, 33, 34. Didn't do 35 or 36, 37, 38, and then this year. So
let me just. I can't quite name them.
For those of you who don't understand the concept of how much of a big deal this is, Patricia, you and I, are you avid with Pose? We love, I stand Pose. So Pose, they have the Queen Mother, who is electric, and she will literally eat you with her words and basically squander you down to you not being on her level. That's what Roman is doing right now. You are not on his level. So much the fact, and then think about it this way, right? If he's on your level, why is it that people for the first time are doubting somebody like Cody to actually take this thing home? because before nobody was down there. When Roman went up against John Cena, everybody was like, "Oh, this is it. John Cena's about to be the 17th time blah 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 champion." Then when he went up against Triple H, the same thing. Oh, Triple H gonna keep the title, blah blah blah. Then like no matter how many times you give it to, how many times did he fight Kevin Owens? I think last pay-per-view was like the 4th time.
Yep.
Right?
Couple times.
Oh,
yeah.
this is gonna be second time was this is gonna be Kevin gonna be the one, and this Royal Rumble. Oh, KRISTA knows what I'm talking about because KRISTA's my pole sister. I'm paying. Oh yeah, but Roman keeps showing y'all time and time again, you're not on his level. You're not on his level. He's untouchable. He's the Obama of this administration right now. I'm sorry. He to some people, he is just, there's nothing you could do, no matter how much of a heel he is. People were screaming fuck Roman Reigns, but then you had some people who were like, this is gold. Like, who's gonna touch him?
But
to the point,
the Roman Reigns shit is good too.
It's good because I literally put on Twitter that the one thing that will get people to like mess me up in public if I said it out loud was that if Roman should lose and he's like, all right, to hell with this, I'm going on break, this shit is gonna get whack. Like it will take a lot. Like WWE, it will get dull. It will take a lot.
Why he's been champion for 800,000 years. I want to real quick. What would be y'all WrestleMania Mount Rushmore?
Carlos said mine. Right there. That's mine.
Okay, Hogan, Cena, Taker,
and I'm not even a big Taker guy, but the Streak.
I mean, that's honestly super valid.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, okay. Austin, Triple, Shawn, and Sasha. Respectfully.
Okay.
Respectfully.
I think the women need their own separate. For me,
so y'all gonna be. I'm gonna be biased because I'm gonna say Randall Keith.
It's your list, you know.
Randall Keith.
No, for the women, we'll prep that for next week.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do a women.
So we could separate it. Yeah,
we'll do a women, and we'll do it right, and everyone will come back to the fan club with their WrestleMania Mount Rushmore.
Just one thing. In honor of WrestleMania 25, please no Santina Morellas. Because that ticked me off.
You come to those wrestling girls fan club with some Santina Morello, then you in the wrong fan club. Go to
I say though, no
That made
disrespect
me
to him.
so
Watching him on
mad.
Impact kind of made me happy
him as a person, but then he also took my girl Sasha's spot at what WrestleMania was that? I was expecting her 2020, I think.
Yeah.
And he showed up and all that shit. No.
That was funny,
but
it wasn't needed.
25.
But like,
it wasn't needed.
I was expecting,
right.
It lost points. I'm ranking like my top 10 WrestleManias based on like from 1 to 10.
Is so vanilla. Why are you matching with them? I'm sorry.
Wait, what?
I said Braun Breaker is so vanilla. Like even with this hyped up theme song, he's just like another white paint.
I thought
he's matching with he's matching with the Creed brothers.
Oh.
In his gear right now on NXT, like it's vanilla. Like I can't. No matter what you do, I'm sorry. Okay, like white paint drying. Okay, sorry.
P. I gotta ask, this is one of my favorite episodes of Those Wrestling Girls.
Which one?
Do you foresee when y'all do a Power Couples 3 or Power Couples 4? Do you see Braun Breaker and Cora Jade on that list?
See, this is the thing. There's a difference between wrestling couples and wrestling power couples. Everybody.
Thank you. They haven't done anything to be a power couple yet.
That's why I said 3 or 4. Like if they both win titles, do they qualify?
A power couple.
Damn.
I know, right?
That's like now on a Bianca and Montez level would more be like a Britt Baker and Adam Cole.
Okay.
Like they've done a little bit more, in my opinion.
They won the Heart tournament basically together.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think so. But I do want to do another Power Couples episode because I just think wrestling couples are just like the cutest thing.
I mean, they cute, but like.
Oh, you know who's a power couple?
No.
Wait, what? What you was gonna say, Seindole?
No, I said they're cute. I know the little Instagram is a little cute, but I just like. It's
Seindole
just
doesn't
so.
see it for Braun Breaker. Let's just call it what it is.
Damn, Justin, why you always gotta take the words out of my mouth?
Because
I don't, but like, I don't, but like, he's allowed to
Chemistry.
be happy. Like Scott Steiner's allowed to have his little piece on the side. I just think the whole scenario of their relationship is funny because like she was with somebody who was in developmental, and then he got released, and she wasn't with him no more, and then all of a sudden she showed up with Braun Breaker.
Hey man, look.
I mean, it is what it is.
Do what you want to do, sis. I'm just
do what you gotta do.
do what you want to do, girl. Y'all cute.
Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona.
Thank you. Or John Morrison and Tanya Valkyrie.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they've accomplished a lot.
They
and
have.
as a couple, which I think is cool. I actually saw them wrestle together before, so it was in a mixed tag. So it was cool.
What about Moxley and Renee?
Oh, 100,000%.
100%.
There's like tiers. There's like the A, B,
Yeah.
D, and like Renee and Moxley are like A, B to me, and then
and then Braun Breaker's in D for developmental.
D,
But they haven't done anything together. That's why I'm saying they wouldn't be considered a power couple. Like
exciting.
No, let it out. Keep going.
No, I just feel like neither one has really like wowed me.
No Cora Jade?
Cora Jade is a little bit more wild than Braun Breaker. Like Braun Breaker just gives me angry frat boy.
Wrestling power couple right here.
Yeah.
Oh, there after them there will be none. I'm sorry. If we had to.
A++ tier.
Right.
That's the ultimate power couple.
Yeah, ultimate power couple. Oh, what about this? Bianca. Oh, Undertaker, Michelle McCool.
We forgot about Jimmy and Naomi. That's a shame
I got
on
a
us.
hot take. I'm putting Miz and Maurice over.
We gotta write this.
1000%.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to say we gotta write this down because there's too many wrestling couples. Period.
Good ones.
Yeah. We
But
gotta write this
without
down.
thinking, I like that. But I would put Miz and Maurice. I just think they're just. This the only time you'll probably see me putting Miz over the Undertaker, except maybe entertaining.
What about Randy and Liv?
You got to, right?
If you're talking accomplishments, we haven't mentioned
watched
Edge and
WrestleMania
Beth Phoenix.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God, the Hall of Fame couple. They're up there on the A+.
A great couple.
Okay, wait. What you mean? Wait a minute. No Maurice.
Oh no!
Don't get kicked out of the club.
Don't get kicked out. No.
Choose your words carefully, Dylan.
We want to know in a nice way why you don't like Maurice.
Dragon Lee is here. Sorry,
I'm
he
watching
just showed up on NXT.
I see it.
He is in the crowd. You know how it is when they do that. First, they introduce you to the crowd. Yeah, he is here.
Yeah,
I love Industry, y'all. I do.
Amazing.
Jinder Mahal and those guys, money.
If you're not familiar with Dragon Lee, there's like 1,000 like IWGP junior heavyweight matches with him and Hiromu that you can easily pull up on New Japan World. That's just like fantastic. Like those guys have like 4.5-star matches in their sleep. Like he is ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Carlos Seindole just said the same thing.
like vanilla white paint drying. I'm sorry. It's just like I need you. Like at this point, I need him to turn heel. Like I just need him to slap the piss out of. Like I feel like if we don't get, thank you. I feel like if we don't get a heel turn out of him and Carmella, because it's very obvious that we mellow. Like the house is mellow. Like everybody is love it or hate it. They like Carmella. You don't slap the dog shit out of him and disrespect him to turn heel. Your whole thing is pointless. Like be an asshole. I'm sorry. Be an asshole. I'm sorry. That's the only thing that's going to work for you.
He hasn't evolved, right? We thought last year around this time he was going to be by now.
How many years does it take for you to evolve?
But I'm saying, like, this is what it is. Like, everybody feels the same way, and it's just like, nah, we're going to keep the title on him. Like, we knew he could work. We knew he like had that powerhouse-esque mentality. But it's like, okay, by next year he'll go more. And if the feud with Ziggler didn't do anything,
Like,
It's like, man, I don't even know what now.
like look, the comment that Herrera just put up. That's last comment right there. Turn heel and have Scott. That's what it's gonna have to take. That's what it's gonna have to take.
Okay.
That's literally what it's gonna have to take. Pull a Randy Orton and have your daddy vouch for you. That's what it's gonna have to take. And Randy Orton didn't even need that.
Turning on you anyway, so you might as well just meet them halfway and let them hate you. Also, it's stale. You should have dropped it in a good feud and had non-title feuds to build that back.
They were trying to build a man of the house. I get that. But when he loses to Carmelo, which he will lose to Carmelo's gonna be the man of the house. So respectfully, just accept that.
I mean, he out there taking pictures with the Street Profits and Omos and
like he's
MVP,
letting little kids. First of all, he beat a little kid in a relay when they visited a public school. Beat the little kid and then went up another little kid and tripped himself on purpose. Like if that doesn't show you that I'm trying to win the people over, I don't know what is. Do you see Braun Breaker doing that? I don't see Braun Breaker being. They're literally making Carmelo. Hey, not to get off track. They're making him the face of the company. Like if you don't see that, yeah. Like if you guys don't see that happening, it's what's happening. Like I don't see any other NXT stars going to media press tours. I don't see anybody visiting schools. I don't see anybody but Carmelo, and I think it's another person. I know Roxanne Perez has started doing it now too. I don't see anybody else doing it. I've not seen Braun Breaker do it in that effect. Come on, like
he's a genuinely nice guy.
He's genuinely nice guy. He's giving face to the company.
He is, and I love I don't want to say slow burn, but I love that it's happening organically and he's not being pushed down our throats. Like he is working up, and he's showing up, and he brings it, and we love it, and we see it, and it's been like, I mean, I agree. I was surprised when he lost. I thought he automatically would be in the world title picture, but you know. I agree. I agree with this. Although, you know, Austin Theory, I wouldn't compare the two, but I definitely prefer Carmelo over a lot of people, and I feel like his moment is coming. I
know one thing
for sure.
John Cena wouldn't take Carmelo Hayes to school the way he took John Cena to school last night. I mean, John Cena took Austin Theory to school last night.
That was.
Austin Theory gotta be sitting there like, again? This
happens? I'm sorry, but Carmelo would eat him alive. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
John Cena. I think when John Cena got the chops, he go back and forth.
Cena ain't roaming up.
Maybe because I just
eats people up.
But yeah, he don't play. But Melo wouldn't just take it lightly.
He wouldn't take it lightly. and John Cena couldn't say a lot of the things that is being said about Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Because people do care about Carmelo. Like, I know he's not necessarily a face, you know what I mean? But he doesn't get like booed. Austin Theory gets booed, and where it's just like, no, we like really don't care about you.
What did you think when you saw John Cena like say some of this? Did you think that he like, ooh, was he supposed to say that? Like,
you know what it is? I think like also coming off of watching the John Cena Rock Rivals special, so just hearing John Cena talking about angles and promos and like what it takes to build a match, and just knowing how good he is at that and how much he understands the psychology of making this work. And also, okay, I know my position in this storyline. I know what Austin Theories is supposed to be, and I know what to fucking say. So I wasn't surprised, but I also was like, man, I was like, Johnson, he going there.
Because the consensus,
you're basically saying don't let the Hollywood fool you.
Because the consensus was he was saying stuff maybe he shouldn't have said, and it's like, did he really have to say? Like you said, did he really have to say people don't care about you? Did he really have to say we piping in the noise? For
but but after years of like Good Boy Cena, the same way we were tired of Braun Breaker 5 seconds ago, we were also at one point tired of John Cena. So to see John Cena come back in that way and just like annihilate, I'm like, where the fuck was this John Cena a few years ago? Like, I can't be the only person that thinks that.
Like CM Punk kind of, as much as I think CM Punk is a one-trick pony on promos, when he's mad and he's on.
He did. He dig
Don't
deep
get
when he
them
get pissed.
started.
Like for him, I can only think back to that promo after the pipe bomb where he finally confronted John Cena and he was like, "You don't understand why these people don't get along with you. Like you think you're rising above, you're different, but you're really the same. Like you're just like everybody else. Like you're a dynasty. Like you're what you hate. Like you're the Yankees. Like Boston. Like for you to call somebody from Boston Yankees,
disrespectful, and vice versa.
That's
Cena
one thing I give
brought
him.
his game up though.
That's
Cena
what I'm saying.
up, and then we saw what he did to the Rock at some point. That like if y'all wasn't
his shit on his arm, I was like, oh, he got
that's
you.
That's what I'm saying. Like we have an entire Peacock catalog where you just pull up Cena, where Cena's undressed Rock, Cena's undressed Roman, Cena's undressed anyone you can think of. Cena's undressed at some point. So it's like you forget, like this is a top 5 guy in the mic for a fucking reason. So him doing that to Theory was like, I've seen him do this before. I am not surprised. And also when it comes to Theory, we've seen him get undressed before too. So this is also not the first time. But Cena going hard like that, I look at like when he did to Roman.
This is the guy.
It's like
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, and it's like I'm gonna help you get to where you need to go, but you're gonna take this like foot in the ass in order to do it. The same way like he did it with Roman too, where like Cena would not. Yeah, where it's like Cena wouldn't undress this version of Roman, but before we got the Tribal Chief Roman, Cena was also giving Roman the business too, and that was just put to ask like, we need you to elevate. You're supposed to be the guy, then fucking show it. Why do I need to come back and basically show what you need to be doing? And then you see where Roman's at now, where it's like, yeah, you ain't gonna be doing none of that talking in my vicinity. And that's like where Theory is gonna help him long term, but short term, you're gonna take this ass whooping.
1,000%. And Austin Theory is not somebody that we're supposed to like anyway. So it's like, yeah, we're seeing our hero fucking chew you down. That's great. Like we want to see that. And John Cena is one of those like particular talents where he is so comfortable with the crowd that I don't think anyone could low-key beat him in a promo in this era of Cena, because he's so comfortable. He understands the psychology of what's supposed to happen. He has had every relationship with the fans that any superstar have. He's had them say fuck you, he's had them boo him, they had them love him. They literally, so when he has that mic, he's home. Like, y'all talk about The Rock, but oh my god,
yeah, like you're not gonna get Cena flustered on the mic. You be
like Cena got this. Like
it's a Tuesday. Give me. Like, I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he's gonna be at Mania.
Because you gotta teach the young in the lesson. Don't be talking wild and acting like, yo, there ain't repercussions for you talking with loose lips.
But at the same time,
there are still people that are outside, and Cena and his bald ass is like, yo, I'm still outside.
Leave that man hairline alone, Justin.
I mean, he took off the cap and was like, yo, I don't give a fuck. I'm getting no. It's not a diss. It's like, even for him, it's like, yo, this is showing like I'm getting older, but it's a blessing. I've done this like 20, 30 something years. Like, I have the right to wear like, cool, I don't give a fuck if I'm balding. Here, I'm gonna show it. Y'all happy? Watch me continue to flame you with this bald-headed ass.
Bro,
it's giving him his props, dude. That just shows we're seeing it. Like, you're not gonna fluster him. You're really not.
Oh man. Let's take a quick break, and then I want to hear your thoughts on some of the new, matchups that's been happening. A lot of, seeds being planted for post-Mania. So let's take this break, and we'll get into some other shit. When she was developing like her character and stuff like that. And how at first, going back to how hard it is following in like such big footsteps when you're, royalty, wrestling royalty, is they didn't want her to woo at first.
Yeah, they didn't.
And want her to lean too much into the flair thing. And she came out how everybody comes out or thinks that they should come out with, the whole like, so happy to be here. Blah, blah, blah. That's so unlike her. Like, I look at these photos and I'm just like, that beautiful.
She looked like she could be a Cullen from Twilight.
Like KRISTA.
She's a missing Cullen at this point.
No, seriously. Like, I can't help but laugh every time I hear
Chris
Chris.
is being so offensive to Twilight right now. I could not really.
Oh my
Really,
God.
out of all the things to compare it to, is that was a great
That was
episode once again.
great.
I like how you guys brought up that fact that like, yo, they were really trying to also make her vanilla by telling her she can't woo, she can't do this and get like, no, like logically, it made more sense for her to eat up that shit and be like, not only am I my dad, I'm 10 times better than my dad. So kudos to y'all on that.
Kudos to y'all. Thank you, Carlos, for tuning in, and hopefully you could come back to the fan club.
Hi, Carlos. Thank you.
She did look like that. I'm also like, who is that person? Like, that's not who the queen is now. So check out all 3 parts of our Charlotte Flair series. I don't know what this comment is, but so I want to talk about one of my favorite people who has come back. It completely refreshed is Carmella. She faced off against Bianca Belair for the 800th time, but it was good. I enjoyed it. They have great chemistry in the ring, in my opinion. Oh, look.
That middle picture, yo.
Yo, but did you see how Carmella got out the way so fast?
Because Sis is smart.
Yep, you're messing up my makeup.
Said, nope.
No, what's up?
She said, I've been through enough. I'm not doing this.
You ain't spraying me.
Let the new girl have it.
Can over. Yep, spray that tin can over there. Mm-hmm. Don't get that, mom. Don't get that in my hair.
Chelsea handled it very well. On top of that, like her reaction was everything. Her reaction was literally everything.
Everything.
I like them two together.
I was gonna say, because when Chelsea Green first came on the scene and she was doing this Karen-esque character, I got Carmella vibes off the simple fact of like Carmella complaint. You know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, this is kind of like, but because Chelsea does great character work, in my opinion, she's slowly building on us. Adam Pearce, her rapport with Adam Pearce, he's good. And then you have Carmella complaining and they team up. And Adam Pearce like sneaks away. He sees him talking, he like,
he's like, fuck, there's 2 of them. Like,
that is not I'm with him. Like, I don't want to know what's happening, but I dig it. I think they have great chemistry. They play off of each other well. That could work.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, you say this all the time. Everybody don't need to be going for the belt, don't need to be champion. You just need stories. And KRISTA said it best: revenge of the Karens. And you can have them just like trying to seek justice or complain about stuff.
It's because I can see them both complaining a lot.
Yeah, and it would be perfect. And I hate to say this, but Chelsea Green been injury prone. So she can kind of build up her endurance and whatnot. She's on TV every week, and they both have the ability to make you hate them or make you just want to see them get punched in the mouth. So, and then they're messing around with Asuka with the miss. Oh my goodness. But then it's also like important. What they're doing is important to the women's championship story, because this is preventing Asuka and Bianca from touching each other, because you have a face versus face. So it's more of a respect thing. And then, when she spit the green mist, that gives Bianca an opportunity. Oh,
my bad, y'all. That was me.
That was Chelsea racing to the hospital to get that green shit out of her eyes. That was
but yeah,
it's still in my hair.
Gives her opportunity. It's just because now Bianca can watch from far. Sometimes you don't got to get hit to know you got to go further and get nastier. So this is working on so many different levels.
I didn't even think, because I was one of those, what's the story? But entering Carmella and Chelsea into the mix, it does prevent them from touching. It does add that layer to it, and it is a respect thing. I love Asuka's new look as well. I don't know if it's particularly new, but I think her outfit yesterday was super cute.
She looked good.
She did.
Change the shoes, though. Change the shoes, because I saw that little struggle running to the ring where she's like, fuck, I can't run in this.
You
was like,
did not talk about her struggle walk.
No, it was the shoes. Like, I don't know if she's not used to wearing those ones. It's like, bro, she's trying to run. She's like, I can't do it in this. It's like, all right, then just take the motherfuckers off or something.
It.
Take out the shoes and throw it at them or some shit.
Do y'all see Carmella and Chelsea Green like potentially becoming like tag team champions at one point?
I would like to see it. They make perfect sense.
I actually want to see it. I actually like to see it.
The social media reaction to them, like people were really loving Carmella and Chelsea together.
Because it's like you're watching two of the same people together.
Yeah. They gel perfectly, and it's a division that really can use tag teams because once you get past Damage Control, who do you have outside of that? And that's the thing, no one. Becky and Lita are thrown together. Shayna and Ronda's thrown together, but Chelsea
they're thrown together
for
the season.
They're thrown together, but it makes sense where like that can actually be a unit, and that's something that could be like a backbone of that division. Like that's something that like you stumbled into that. Keep that. That's gonna work.
Yeah.
I had to see about the shoes. I had to go bring them up.
They match
about the shoes.
Now her outfits are cute though.
Yeah,
they're dope shoes. It's just I don't see Asuka in heels a lot. Maybe that's just because like
this is a new Asuka.
It's a new Asuka, and also Chelsea Green is tall. So what if it was one of those things where if I have to spit in this girl's face and I'm supposed to be like dominate, I don't want to. You know what? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking it.
Simple solution.
No,
kick her in the leg while she drops. When you kick her in the leg, then you spit in her face. Hit her with a 2-piece.
Damn. But I agree with Andre. I think Bianca and Asuka. I don't know. There's a lot of matches at the weekend, but I do think they're gonna eat it up. Bianca and Asuka. And Bianca, that's confident. She's gonna go into her third Mania championship match. The swag is gonna be unbelievable. Asuka's swag right now is unbelievable. So it could be, and I don't know who's gonna win, which is what I love. Like I have no idea. So this could definitely be a contender. But as you know, we're watching NXT as a family in the fan club. Gigi Dolan and JC Jane are up next.
Oh boy.
And you know, this is one of those things that we've always waited for.
I don't think it concludes here. I think this is you talking about like new stories and continuing chapters. Man, I don't know. I think
how dare you call me Mari Jannetty?
I mean, Gigi let out a heartfelt promo, and so who am I to criticize it? But I like JC Jane. She made it known, like y'all ain't know who I was. You know, I was just the other one. People knew who Gigi was. They knew who Mandy was. Now y'all know who JC Jane is. And if I had to invest in somebody, shout out to my former co-host Jack Farmer. You know, bet the farm on. I put it on JC Jane.
Ooh, see, and I'm sure a lot of people was thinking Gigi Dolan would be the standout.
Nah, my heart. I love Gigi, but my heart is on my money's on JC. I'm sorry. Like if they want to, I think they see her. They see both of them as main event like females, like the next round of main event. But I've seen them like from the promo cutting to the angle that it's been on to her confidence level. I definitely see it more in JC.
I think that promo she definitely did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like
wait a minute.
Like I said before, I learned her name.
I was gonna say the Grayson Waller effect is up next. They showed that promo. Okay, you know, and we all know you know he had beef with the wrestling club, but his guest is the one and only my favorite producer in pro wrestling, HB Kizzle, Shawn Michaels.
Ooh. Hey, Sean.
I like producer Sean.
Okay. I do.
I want to apologize for going mute.
Salute to Sean. I was about to say a joke, but I was like, nah, let me not do that to Sean this time. Salute.
Is it about his
what?
I don't want to say it. What were you gonna say? So I don't sound like a jerk.
Who, me?
No, Justin.
Oh, go ahead, Justin.
You better say it, or she won't get kicked out the club.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm behaving because I always make fun of Sean and his wandering eyes, and you know, like he be doing DX with the eyes, like yeah. Look to the good one. Which one's the good one? Oh, I forgot. Is it this one or is it this one? It's been a while.
Justin. Oh my God, stop it. Stop.
Too many super kicks to the face. You know,
stop.
I forget which one's good.
Well, hopefully he has a cap on. And then
no, he has a cowboy hat.
I mean, yeah, something to, you know. Anyway,
I know what that's from. Y'all can't be doing that. You know what that's from. Like
we love Shawn Michaels.
I wouldn't be me if I don't, you know.
If you didn't get yourself kicked out of the club.
I wasn't trying to get kicked out of the club. I was trying to, that's what I was like, I wasn't gonna say it, but then P's like, say it. I was like, all right, fuck it.
I definitely did.
Here comes the chopper.
I want to switch gears really quick because there was a pay-per-view this weekend. AEW Revolution. So I was watching it, double screening it with the China doc. But how was the show? I know you, Justin, experienced it a little different.
I did. I pulled up to the movie theater because they had it.
Nice.
So that whole showing it in certain movie theaters. So luckily the one that's down the street from my house was showing it. I was like, yo, half off, and I get to go to my favorite theater and watch this. Why the hell not? I've never watched a wrestling event at a movie theater, so this is my first time doing it, and it was crazy because it's one thing when you watch it on TV, it's another thing when you watch it on a huge ass movie screen. And certain matches hit different when you watch that on a movie screen compared to TV. Like the Moxley Hangman Adam Page death match hits so much different on the movie screen. It's almost like you're watching like a horror movie because you're just like, he's putting on fork. What the fuck? And you're seeing blood gush and you're seeing things where it's just like, hey, yo, it's like enhancing something. It's like when you watch on TV and you zoom in on something so it's more focused and you're just like, holy fuck.
And then the sounds, like the surround sound, I'm sure it was just like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, so it was a dope experience. I know the main event, I was acting an ass because I was like, bro, I know Brian's not gonna win, but if he fucking wins this, I'm glad there's like only a couple of us in here because I'm gonna act a fool.
Where you thought he might just win, like, oh my gosh.
Bro.
All right,
it's one of the. It's one of those where it's like
person that felt like he wasn't going to though.
Oh no, he 1000% wasn't. He's made it clear he doesn't want the title.
I felt like this match did what it was supposed to do more for MJF than it did for him, which is we want to see MJF be more than just because right now he was given paper champion. Because the way this reign has gone ever since when we watched him win, like me, Queen PR, and Brian watched him win, was that paper champion material, right? This more proved that he's not no paper champ. Like he can actually he could possibly withstand more matches like this. Like, do I see him going to a Texas death match anytime soon? Nah, he probably passed the fuck out and losing that one. But for him to go 60 minutes and then go over, yeah, you saw him do more than just paper championship work, which is what it was supposed to do. Despite what happened, it did what it was supposed to do. It solidified him. It boosted his ego a little bit more. It did what it was supposed to do. And then we also know that Brian has fully come out and said that that's not what he's here for. So win or lose, it wasn't what he was there for. He's there to put on a great match, go home. Like, you know, and the only thing I have to take away from this, and shout out to Justin, because I was on Turnbuckle Talk before this on the car ride home, was that there was somebody on his Turnbuckle Talk that said that overall, I was going to just watch the women's match. I actually ended up watching the whole pay-per-view, and the whole pay-per-view was actually really good. Like, I found it interesting, like, from, you know, finally from having Malachi Black and the House of Black win the Trios Championship all the way down to that Texas death match, which was a lot for me to take in, but it was a good match. Even the match I'm about to rate now, that was a pretty decent match. The ending
is for Seindole scoreboard.
It is, but let me just get out what I want to say. It was a great pay-per-view overall. The only thing that unfortunately took away was what MJF did to that kid. That ruined a lot. Like we should be talking about how much this pay-per-view has evolved from other pay-per-views versus last year's Revolution, because last year's Revolution was kind of meh, but this year's Revolution was actually pretty good. And the only thing that got taken away from it was that incident. Like, I'm just gonna say this, like, and what bothers me the most, I feel like, is the Twitter reaction. Like, you have some people that are genuinely upset, and then you have people that are just like, oh, you guys are just blowing this. Like, I'm sorry. Like, water, ice cream, confetti, tequila, I don't care what it is. I don't care who agreed to it. I just don't think that was appropriate. I understand what MJF was trying to do. Like, he's trying to be the ultimate heel. But, like, there's other ways to go about being an ultimate heel by throwing stuff on a kid. Mind you, if he had thrown that on an adult, nobody would have batted an eye to it. Everybody would have just been like, okay, that's him being a heel. But, like, what was that kid doing that you had to do that? Like, where were you going to go with that? Because now you've pissed people off, one. And then two, like, now it looks weird. And I said, like, all right, Tony Khan's letting... People think that Tony Khan's like just allowing it to happen. Some people think that like, okay, it's not a big deal as a kid. Like they probably just sugarcoated him, and which I heard that he was backstage and everything. And shout out to Will, because we've met Will. Will's a really cool guy. Shout out to what he did for him. Like that just like, I'm not a parent, and I don't know how that mom didn't like kick him in the knees after that. Like security or no security, I'm whooping your ass. Like he couldn't do that in New York.
This is one of those things. I say this. You don't know what you're gonna do until you're there. If you're in that position.
Right.
She looks the look she had on her face, she looks shocked. Like,
yeah.
Wait,
but like happen? I'm ruining the whole pay-per-view by running after your ass. Like they gonna have to take me outside.
I understand exactly what you're saying, you know, but like, and maybe even then the kids, everything could have been on delay. Like everything happened so fast, right?
Right.
So because generally, if the kid just like laughs at it, it's okay, it's whatever. But then what's she gonna do? Hop the guardrail? Because it like I said, he just did this, and then to an extent, he can say, "Oh, I just flung the water, and I thought it was water." You know, it's just so many ways. And I think the biggest issue I have is people telling people how to feel at the end of the day, right? Like I'm not going to tell you should be upset or you shouldn't be upset, because at the end of the day, MJF is at home sitting there counting his money, yelling bidding wars to 2024, and he's so mentally in wrestling. He's so smart. I would not put it past him that he did that on purpose, because he knew he was about to do and prove everybody wrong, that he didn't want everybody talking about how good his wrestling was going to be, because he knew, you know, knowing the spots that they had planned for the match, he knew that this could be something that could possibly get him cheered. I wouldn't be surprised. I literally just think about that sitting here, you know, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I completely could see that. And because, and the people that are not familiar with MJF, for example, who just see the clip and they're just like, oh my God, he threw it in the face. Like, MJF don't give a fuck.
Mind you, like,
does not give a fuck, number one. And number two, I wouldn't be surprised if he apologized to that mother and child backstage and then told them not to say anything, because he protects his persona. Like, that's how I'm like, there's so much to that like, you know what I mean? So like, and Wilkins said it perfectly. He was like, enough with the fake outrage, as far as, because you know what I mean? Where it's like, are we like, people were arguing on Twitter about this, because you had wrestling heels that had their input, and then you had, you know what I mean?
No, I don't need to hear from them. I was just like, in my Twitter response, I was just like, listen, if this wasn't planted and he just went that on his own will, and you suspended like 4 grown-ass men for having a tussle backstage, like, I want to see you play that shit out on TV. Like, I want to see your reaction, Tony. I want to see how you react this, because like, I don't know what cojones, what he's holding you with. But I don't know what he has on you. I don't know if he saw you sniff something while you were backstage and you promised him something. But like, call a spade a spade. You better storyline book this to the end.
About like the wrestling business, because like, if my biggest chicken shit heel is trying to be the chicken shit heel, my
bank
heel
on it.
I'm banking on that shit.
Bank on it.
Him. I might say next time, because I do think it was an adrenaline thing. I don't think he even thought twice about throwing water. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I just feel like because he's such a heel, like it's one of those things where just another reason to hate MJF.
And then like
It
I'm
comes
watching
off-
the press.
You know, it just adds to his.
But it comes off very tone deaf because it's the optics of it. It's like you are a white wrestler throwing a drink on a black kid. And I know there's a demographic of fans that are defending MJF. Well, he's a heel, he's this and that. That's a fucking kid. Not only are you doing that,
why not throw it on them? Like,
but not only are you doing that, you're doing it at a pay-per-view. This is not a fucking live event, which is private. You're doing it on a show that has the arena full of people that's being broadcasted on pay-per-view, and because this shit went viral, everyone on fucking social media is seeing this shit of this kid getting splashed in the face, and then you're hearing at real time, because I was on Twitter when all this happened in real time, like you're hearing like, yo, the kid is legit upset. The mom is legit pissed the fuck off. And that's where you have Will Washington trying to smooth things over. You have Amanda Huber come from backstage and sit with the kid for the rest of the match to smooth things over. And while you're having this excellent Iron Man match, now people are talking about this other shit that you're doing. And I know Tony tried to smooth things over, but this is like the habitual problem with AEW, where it's like, you guys missed the fucking point of this like tone deaf stuff of like, yo, it's the optics. And it's like, yeah, we don't gotta bring racism. It's like, but it's right there in front of you. We have a video of this.
Optics.
And you know who's not doing this shit? WWE, because WWE knows better than like, we're not gonna fuck with our money by throwing shit at kids, especially when we are catering to families, especially when we are catering to children. You see them working with the wrestling club. You see them, even the heels were like, they get the kids involved in some way, shape, or form. But there's like, I'm not about to throw a drink in the kid's face. But there's a contingent of fans that's like, we love AEW so much, we love MJF so much, we gotta defend heels. Y'all just take everything to zero. It's like, yeah, because he's a kid. He is a child.
You know, like
he's a kid. And for me personally, it takes me back to my first wrestling experience, because I've spoken on this on Fan Club. When I went to SummerSlam 1991 at MSG, I was 6. I was 6 years old. So let a wrestler throw a drink in my face when I'm 6, and I don't understand that. Yo, this is fake. Yo, he's just keeping the character. Like, I'm not gonna know fucking better.
So I
you know where I'm going with that, but the point being, like, yo, that's a child.
I just, what do y'all want to happen to MJF? Like, what pun? Like, what do y'all want to happen? Because what he did was wrong. Like,
two things to happen.
What I mean, like,
either A, like, give the same energy you gave to that little boys fighting backstage tussle, you know, like, I don't give a fuck, a chair was thrown, or bankroll on it. Like, let MJF come out there, and if you're gonna put salt on the wound, if you don't come tomorrow with no salt on the wound, I'm gonna be like, that was bullshit. Like,
we all know he's gonna talk about it and all of that
he
stuff.
needs to, because even in that I was saying that, all right, the way he was acting during the media scrum, like he went in there with blood and a towel, and I just automatically looked at him like, you are really like an asshole, like, because you know CM Punk went in there looking the same, eating fucking pickles, nigga, like eating fucking pickles.
He's untouchable.
Exactly. And that's why I'm saying, I don't know what he has on your boy Tony, like Fantasy League Con. I don't know what he caught Tony doing in the back, but I now, like, let's be real, I see him getting fined. Thank you, Black. Shout out to the song. I see him getting fined. That's what I see from him. That's what I see.
You know what I mean? Like, I just think, and I do want to move on to Johnny Gargano finally going back to NXT, but like, who's to say what happened backstage and not wanting it to be public to protect MJF's character? Because if I was Tony Khan, and again, like I said before, if my heel champion was the biggest heel and did the biggest heel shit he could imaginably do, I'm going to bank on that. Am I going to reprimand him? You went too far. Yes. Am I going to do that shit publicly? Hell fucking no.
Right.
Hate MJF, please boo him. Please throw water on him at shows. Like, please. You know what I mean? Like, this is wrestling. Like, I understand it's a lot of, like, I don't know what I would have done if somebody threw water in my kid's face, but we got to remember the business we in and who MJF's character is, and then just move the fuck on. Like, you know, and only because I feel like I've been reading about it for the last like 3 days, and I'm just like,
yeah, Today's
All right. Well, no.
I'll do a quick plug. If you want to hear more of my thoughts, go to the Wrestling Realm Patreon.
Oh,
account.
God.
Just subscribe. $1.
So speaking of the rest, besides that whole last match, that main event being phenomenal, despite everything that happened,
let's take a quick break into the NXT real quick, just because I want to make sure we give that enough time, Seindole, because you took time with that scoreboard. We just got to address this fact because I thought Shawn Michaels, he turned up. That's another guy who you got to make sure you bring it when you stand in the ring with him. You know, really all the whole DX crew. And that's one of the things like some people was complaining about, like, oh man, you know, back in the day, The Rock would say Triple H was going too far, but Triple H and Shawn Michaels, they go crazy. But I thought Shawn Michaels was getting ready to come out of retirement, but he basically let Grayson Waller know that it's not going to be me. You're going to go against Johnny Gargano, which I think this is good. Johnny Gargano,
it's going to be great.
He's a wrestler, and I really think NXT is where he belongs. I'm not really high on him on the main roster. I'm trying to give it patience, trying to see what they do with him and Dexter Lumis. But after they work with the Miz, they were supposed to go to another level because that's what the Miz does. Yeah. And right now, it's kind of giving failed vibes.
I mean, I think him being in Chamber was also supposed to be a thing, but I've never been a Johnny Gargano fan except when he was feuding with Ciampa. Like I have, like it's very like bland, but I think NXT is where he belongs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see him staying there, or do you think he's gonna be doing one of those?
Yeah.
I see the back and forth. I don't see him doing the Apollo Creed. I see him doing more like with the New Day. I see that in more of an aspect.
Okay. Okay, so since we think he's like bland or whatever, like who do y'all ever like? Do y'all have like dream matches for him? Like, what's the appeal here with Mr.
I mean, Mello.
It's just hard, but yeah, because he'd be great with Mello. Like he was great with Ciampa. Like he was great with Ciampa.
That's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They've been feuding before. And we are getting ready for the women's match.
He could wrestle anyone in NXT. It's just the problem is when you're on Raw, you need to have like a character. You need to really like talk because that's the thing with WWE is like everyone can wrestle. What else do you bring to the table? Because everyone, if we give you the latitude, anyone on that roster could put on a 4.5-star match. What else do you bring? And with Raw, it's like you gotta talk on the mic, you gotta have character, you gotta have persona, and those are the things with Johnny. That's like, that's not the things we're hyping up when we talk about Johnny Gargano. It's usually his wrestling, his matches, and his skills. But the things that you really need to stand out on Raw, those are the things that he's lacking on. So I'm not ready to give up on him yet because it's still early. But it's like this ain't hitting. We gotta find a redirect. Because you got guys like Mustafa Ali who's got a lot more persona and character that's not doing shit right now. That could easily take a spot at the moment.
Why they give Gigi the jobber entrance though?
Because they already told you who they about to push. Listen, it's optics.
But like, come on,
the story
exactly.
It's optics, y'all. Like they just told you who they're gonna push. Because NXT doesn't have enough heels. They don't. They just like kind of James was kind of a heel. They push her to this tag team, to this storyline. They also Tiffany Stratton. They're gonna push her to be a heel. I feel like the Tiffany, they're gonna push her next to be a heel. Cora Jade is that like they don't have enough heels. This is JC's chance to be the ultimate heel. If we want to be really honest. Yes.
But
she has heel material. You don't see her as a face.
No,
I don't see her as a face.
Gigi should have came out there and had that. We should have got that pop on television. She shouldn't have got the jobber entrance.
There's still some work to be done with Gigi. I feel like that's why they're doing this. In their eye, I feel like there's still some work to be done with her. You don't have that work that needs to be done with her. Because why? You don't need to put in that much work with a heel if you already have heel appeal. She has heel appeal. You need more work on somebody that you want everybody to like. If you're gonna make Gigi a face, there needs to be more work. You need to get more sympathy on her. I get that, dude. Are we gonna get a possible rematch somewhere else? We don't know. But you don't need work when it's heel appeal and JC already has heel appeal. She had appeal when she was in Toxic Attraction with Mandy Rose. Because she was always the person, always the left in Mandy Rose's ear when she was in. If you pay attention to how Toxic Attraction worked, she was always the hype piece in Mandy Rose's ear. It was never Gigi.
Right.
So they're already telling you, they're like, all right, this is your bad guy now. Boom, give her the entrance. And I like I said, I like Gigi. I like when she was Priscilla. She did great work in the indies, but there's still more work they want to be done on her. You don't need that.
Maybe this is a story that extends all the way to the pay-per-view in Los Angeles.
Exactly. Like maybe they'll be the next Iron Man match. You never know. Because right now this is just aggression being held in the ring. This isn't even a real match, to be honest.
It's also like, but
it's a grudge match.
Build, if JC Jane's gonna be a big heel, why not build Gigi to be a big face?
They will eventually.
Yeah, because she had the bruises. It's like once you got that visual and everybody got that gif of her getting the shit kicked out of her, I'm like, yo, build that.
Ooh.
Yeah, she got that Charlie Murphy kick to the face. Blah.
Charlie
Murphy.
I see something happening. Who y'all got in this match? Or like you said, this kind of face off between them.
I feel like this is a grudge match. But I feel like if it ends a certain way, it will go up again as Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely gonna get more rounds.
Yeah,
this is chapter 1 for real. But I mean, I like JC Jane to win this, but yeah, I'm sorry, I'm irritated. I don't like picture in picture. I don't know how y'all feel about it. It seems like it's always done.
I don't know if that means it's a money. Like, does that mean it's a money match or not? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, is that more ad dollars or?
Is more ad dollars on NXT
for the women?
I don't mind picture in picture, but it depends on the match that they're doing it on. If it's on a match that everyone wants to watch, don't fucking do it. Do like NXT did with Sasha and Io, and just make it commercial free. Do all your commercials on the front end and then have it commercial free. But if it's like a match where people really want to see, like, don't do picture in picture. Either cut to the commercial or let us actually watch the match that you've been hyping because we want to see this.
Yeah.
The picture in picture kind of takes away momentum on it. That's where I don't like when it's on a match that people care about. If it's on like regular other matches, then that's fine.
Right. That's so true. Twitter is definitely up in arms about this.
What else is new?
You're right. We just talked about the fake.
What else is new? We just talked about the kid that was 48 hours of Twitter, like, yo, I would do this, I would do that if that was my kid. And then you have the other side of Twitter. It's like, I mean, y'all just take everything too sensitive. Why is a heel being a heel? You got to protect the business. And it's like, man, y'all just log off. Touch your ass.
What's the that meme of, I don't know what movie it's from, but he has like all the swords pointed to him, and they'll be like, what wrestling opinion that happens to? I would love to have a segment like next week, maybe, so we can prep up like a wrestling opinion that
wrestling heels will die on.
Right, exactly, because he went viral recently on shout out to Wednesday Worldwide, talking about CM Punk's mic skills, and you had the few that agree with you, but like it was one of those fake outrages, and you was just like, you even said one trick pony tonight.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, you know what's the crazy part about it was though that I posted on my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. On Instagram, most people agree with me. On TikTok, it was, half and half. But I've heard everything. I heard like, why y'all give this man a podcast? What does he know?
They was mad.
Yeah, they was.
It was roasting you, the house. I did see that on Twitter.
Yeah, it was to a point I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop checking. Then I was like, I'm just laughing at stuff. I forgot what was the funniest one now. But it was like, all right, that was good, But
what's funny to me?
Got the wrong belts in the background.
Like, what's funny to me though, when it comes to CM Punk, like people give him the attention when it's the attention, and they give him the hate when it's the hate, and then it takes that one person to say anything about him, and you'll either get people that are extremely pissed off about it. You're like, yeah, this was right about CM Punk was right about that. shut the fuck up. Like, not for nothing. I'm an avid fan, but even I can admit that, like, I can agree with what Brian's saying. Like, the promo work is a run trick pony thing, but because what he says a lot of what people want to say. Like, what is it?
They posted a CDO study guide.
Go get a day job.
They said go get a day job.
Yo, they said no
shout out to all the truck.
Please.
Shout out to all the truck workers in the world, but damn, that wasn't.
My daddy a truck driver.
Yeah, we got friends that are. Shout out to
you,
CFN Billings, our boys in the building, like the wrestling gods as they call themselves. They're truck drivers. Like, come on, be respectful. Job. Come on now. At least they can afford certain things. But I'm just saying.
They posted the study guide. I was like, this is funny.
But like, I feel like it's one of those things where it's just cloudy to hate him for certain things. But like, mind you, these are the same people that were screaming "fuck CM Punk" a while ago. Then when they see that MJF is kind of being boring with the title, they're like, "Oh, well, this is why CM Punk need to come back." Shut the fuck up. Respectfully, shut up. Just stop.
It's like that's the one That's
y'all
the
want
to die on, like CM Punk, the guy who walked out of AEW, the guy who basically walked out of WWE. That's your hill.
You like him or you don't. You like him or you don't. Like, and leave it at that. Leave it at that. Why are we attacking somebody for having that certain opinion of him?
Right.
I like his wrestling skills. I liked him since he was in. I watched him when he was in OVW. But I'll be the first person to say that the pipe bomb was literally him having years of frustration on WWE and him being pissed off about it and getting the chance to go on camera about it. That was it. That's it.
No,
that's what the pipe bomb was.
That was it of the match. GG won.
What?
You're way far ahead than me. I'm watching it on the USA Network.
Brian did,
Now you're pulling to me.
Let me get this ready.
See, it's Brian's turn this week to spoil something. Let's go.
You just spoiled the whole thing. I'm like, I'm not even that far. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm at.
Well, let's take a look. Right here, I think.
Well, how's she gonna take a look if she's showing it to the camera?
I can still see it.
No, this ain't it. Oh.
Damn, that's an angry ass woman. She's like, ah!
I don't want no beef.
Oh, that was a nice finish.
I like it.
Oh shit, that was a nice finish.
What?
Don't
say anything.
Brian.
I'm not.
Put yourself on mute. I'm tired. Like,
what would CM Punk do? Walk out.
Let's keep watching.
The unemployment line for thee.
Stop it.
You gotta stop.
I'm just saying. Y'all gonna defend CM Punk. You know who's not missing wrestling right now? CM Punk. Because you ain't heard him say shit. Do you see him coming back?
You don't know that. Ooh.
I like what Cheap Pop Wrestling just said.
Yeah. Welcome to the club, Cheap Pop Wrestling. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, her winning tonight.
This is a great deal. Yep, this is good heel work. Sorry.
You got to show them what you're watching. Seindole.
Yeah, what you watching? What's good heel work?
Attacking somebody after the match.
You love a good cheer, almost kill you moment.
I learned from Bayley.
Them joints really hurt too.
I can only imagine what you got to do to protect yourself. Damn.
I feel like
they saved her.
Yep.
Me and my sister used to wrestle, and one time we had like a metal folding chair.
Oh, you're bugging.
Yeah, she might have put me in a figure four through it one time. I said, okay, we're not doing this no more.
Wrestling is hard. Don't try it at home.
They tell us that.
Don't try this at home.
Listen.
Yeah, this is going to continue as Stand Deliver.
I can't say anything. I can't talk. I was doing Macho Man elbow drops off the couch or putting cousins in the sharpshooter, and they're like, "Yeah, fuck you for that."
The Razor's Edge.
Like,
How many people tell their cousin or little brother stand on their back, turn around on the couch?
This is turning into this is better to me than what happened with Otis and Mandy Rose. I'm sorry, I'm so invested in this. That's
Man, Otis missed his moment because he was supposed to be in the WrestleMania packages when he got that kiss finally, and the crowd in Tampa was supposed to go wild. Like that was the moment.
Like,
he missed
ooh,
out.
finally, and then COVID.
Oh yeah.
Hey, at least he won Money in the Bank for his troubles.
For his trouble.
And he lost it in Wrestler's Court.
You ain't get the girl, but you got the Money in the Bank. You know who?
Once.
Mm-hmm.
Not Andre saying he put somebody through a table once.
Damn. You live in Buffalo?
I need some context. Like, what kind of table? Where were you at? What move did you do?
Probably I need rock bottom. That's probably the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, you're right. I'm acting like he. I don't let me not judge because I'm a skilled. No, I'm not. I was gonna try to say I was a skilled wrestler, but I'm not. I don't because people assume like people that's not wrestling fans and you're in wrestling, they're like, "Are you a wrestler?" And it's like,
so just like a
no, I'm not. Most people are not. Most people that watch wrestling are not wrestlers. But I need context on that, Andrew. But let's take a break and we'll get some scoreboard action in.
Ooh, is that a tease?
Right. Yeah.
This moment, especially it was in front of a crowd and she came in as champion. And even though, this is Bianca's moment and she, Bianca, if Bianca didn't win, I would have been like, what the hell? It was still, I think, a moment for Sasha, for her to be self-realized, like different gear, like everything about her, the confidence, of course she had to have an entrance. But this moment for me is probably one of my favorite Sasha moments. And I was trying to find a photo of Sasha's face and her and Bianca getting like emotional before the bell rings. And I think for just Black girls, Black women, shout out to Black Wrestling who got us the hoodie, the sweatshirts with the moment on it. But it was significant in so many different ways. And then this being the second match that main evented WrestleMania.
For the first Black females to do so.
Yes, exactly that.
Shout out to the Go taking over Emerald City Comic Con this past weekend with the Mandalorian stuff.
Oh yeah.
I know y'all probably touched on that earlier.
Yeah, we did. And Mercedes is mine.
When she said she's taking that belt everywhere, she fucking meant it. She got on the red carpet doing tug of war with Rosario. She brought it with the meet and greet. So everyone that did the Emerald City Comic Con meet and greets, she was doing it with the belts. You saw Naomi was also there when they did the panel for Mandalorian. She pulled up with that belt. Like, she meant that shit. Salute to her, man. New Japan is thriving off of that.
Good for her. Good for her. So let's go into, let's do some clapping for Mercedes Monet and Trinity too.
She's looking good over there too. Like
something into her light as Trinity. Y'all notice I didn't even say Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been saying stuff her, and I am slowly
starting to withdraw.
Or not particularly care if they come back or not, because I just love what they're doing. So if she's never Naomi again, like I just, I'm kind of better with it now than I was.
Yeah, like make sure you're good first, and then if you actually want to wrestle again, then we're gonna support you. And if you don't want to wrestle again, then we're gonna support you regardless. But make sure you good.
Yeah, she comes first.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank period.
Point blank period. Let's talk revolution.
Do you want a revolution?
You know what that
I said, do you want a revolution?
So, as you guys know, the scoreboard is created by me, in part with those wrestling girls in the fan club. We don't do it here on the Plan Club. Producer, put on what qualifies a scoreboard tally for me real quick. As you know, we only judge the scoreboard based on 4 things. Those match longevity, chemistry, wrestling ability, and storyline buildup. So, this Sunday at Revolution, we had the AEW Women's Champion Jamie Hayter go up against not one but 2 well-qualified opponents in the effects of our Ruby Soho, and our Queen of Darkness, the woman who says this is her house now, Saraya. So why did we name this match a 4.4? First of all, like I said, this and all of AEW's pay-per-views happens to be a really good pay-per-view. I felt like it was one of their best pay-per-views today. They put on a really good one. Best one I've seen since the second All Out, in my opinion. And that's a real big thing to say, because if you guys remember, the All Out I don't think they had a women's match on that card, did they?
The All Out show?
The second one. The first one, they had a fatal four-way. The second one, I don't think so. Anybody in the comments is free to fact check me on that. But nonetheless, I particularly was really rooting for Ruby Soho. I don't know why. Somebody said to me that I was reaching when I said I was rooting for her. I was rooting for her in a particular, like, okay, maybe this is your moments for you to prove, like, hey, with Saraya and Toni Storm doing this whole kind of like outsider thing, feeding into what Jamie and Britt were saying, I felt like this was for her to come out and be like, listen, I ain't aligning with none of you. This is me. This is my moment. I've worked hard for this. I'm going to come into this and I'm going to be great about this. But, however, that ending, if it wasn't for the match being like an actual nail biter, like I felt like one moment it was going to be back in Jamie Hayter's spot. Then I was like, okay, Saraya's kind of dominating this match with her typical move set. It could be in her favor. Then you kind of had Ruby Soho push out the mat and start to put, you know, her effort, like, I got this, I can do this, I'm fueled up and ready to go. Both of them had moments where they were tagging with each other against one person. It was the perfect scenario of every typical triple threat match that can possibly be there. But that ending, a lot of people were like confused and kind of annoyed with it. I find it to be gold, because if you guys don't pay attention, they're feeding into what people say on Twitter. Like, it's interesting. They're saying like, the first thing they notice is that nobody outside of WWE is one of those titles that nobody outside of WWE that's been in WWE has actually captured. It was Britt Baker's, it was Nyla Rose's, and then it was Jamie Hayter's. All three women made by AEW. So they're kind of giving some of what the people really, really want, as far as, are we putting people that used to be in WWE first ahead of people in AEW? And this is in the women's sector. This is one of those scenarios where that's never happened. However, now that you have a stable one, and Brian called them earlier the new NWO, but let's be real. Are we into it? Are we not into it? With Ruby Soho, was anybody shocked that she decided to align herself with Toni Storm and Saraya? Was it a waste of space for her? Because a lot of people also felt like that, like, okay, you just came off of partnering with Eddie Kingston and Ortiz, and now you're like with them now. So is this a good move for Ruby? Is this a good move for Saraya, Toni, and Ruby? Do you see also Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker now being faces? So let my people in the clubs tell me what they feel about that.
Definitely see Jamie Hayter and Britt being faces. I think the long term is we get them two against each other, but I definitely see that happening. I like this right here. It's something missing. I don't know what it is, but it's something that's missing that's not really hitting for me. I don't, like, it's, I guess that was, joking, calling him the, old NWO and whatnot, but I don't know. It's just, I got to see this play out.
I feel like they're missing, and I hate to say this, is two things. One of them needs to come correct with a real deep promo, and I'm hoping it's Ruby, because she's the one with a lot to say. Because she was there before the both of them. Well, was she there before the both of them, or was Toni Storm there before Ruby?
She was there before both of them.
Yeah.
Right. She was there for the both of them and hasn't had that much opportunity given, where Toni Storm has been champion and Saraya has been given more of the overshower and praise of being back. I'm hoping she has a lot to say from that. And also, I hate to say it like this because this comes off the cusp of, now we know Vicky Guerrero is not going to be returning at AEW. Maybe they need a fourth person.
Who would that be?
I didn't even know that about Vicky Guerrero.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's more the fourth person aspect.
Vicky got to come get her son in order. Her stepson in order.
I mean, do you really want her tangling with Prison Dom? I mean, the
He
man went to
respects
jail. He
her.
learned some things.
Dangerous.
He respects her.
Listen to me. Eddie would be proud of all that his son is doing. I'm just saying. Like the teasing, pushing Ray around like he's a rag doll. He would love it all. Come on now. I'm your poppy. Come on. I rest your soul, Eddie. Anyways. But like I feel like I'm with you, Brian, on that. I feel like there is something missing. We just don't know what. And also, we don't want them to lose it in translation because they always lose it in translation.
Mm-hmm.
So what y'all think about this comment from Cheap Pop Wrestling? Jade Cargill's being presented. See, I have a lot of mixed feelings about her title run now. I think it's like, what's next?
Yeah.
It's turning shit.
I'm not excited. I'm like, what is next?
It's turning shit.
Is she being presented like the AW Women's Champion? Because for someone that's been undefeated, she hasn't faced any of the top talent. She hasn't faced Britt. She hasn't faced Thunder Rosa. She hasn't faced Jamie. She hasn't. I don't think she's faced Statlander before Statlander tore her knee up and stuff like that. So Jade's like undefeated, but it's also like, we don't believe you. You need more people because we haven't seen you fight the top people. And also, if you're still undefeated, why aren't you also going for the women's championship? So I think Jamie's being presented differently than Jade. Jade's being presented as dominant, but it's like it feels like it's a very hollow title reign. Whereas Jamie, you've seen the substance because she's a triple threat with legitimate competition.
All right, so I'm gonna actually agree with Cheap Pop and say she is being presented like the women's champion. And here's why. When you look at Jade, she, the glitz, the glamour, when she comes out there, she has like the beautiful entrance. She has the beautiful ring gear, the regala. She's at the red carpet. She's on the television show. She's on the Breakfast Club. You don't see too much of that from their women's champion. You saw that with Britt Baker, and I understand they've been transitioning between champion to champion. So we haven't had that one dominant champion. But if you don't know nothing about wrestling and you're just an average casual fan who stumbled across AEW, you turn that match on, Jade is presented like the women's world champion. She has her, for lack of a better word, she has her lackey with Layla Gray. And then she goes out there, she makes sure she wins every match. She wins in dominant fashion for them, with the exception to the rule. Now, if you don't know nothing about it, you may not know that Willow Nightingale wasn't signed when she beat her. Or you may not know that Athena was an accomplished wrestler, but recently released from WWE. You may not know certain things about certain wrestlers. You just see her going out there, she's getting wins. She beats Nyla Rhodes. So, but then you see their world champion, and you're like, okay, but I don't see her on TV. I don't see her crossing over. So that's why I agree that she is being presented how the AEW Women's World Champion should be presented. I agree 100% with Cheap Pop.
But so because I get what y'all are saying, but are we thinking being presented as what's this criteria based on to be presented in that way? Like, are we presented how we only know, like how I don't want to say it like this, but how WWE champions are portrayed? Because this sounds like it's more of a who's more in your face type criteria than a who actually has the criteria and stat and ability and chemistry to be in a champion. Because to me, like, the only reason why I'm in such disagreement with how this title reign is being presented on Jade is because for some odd reason, they're not giving her enough forefront to present herself in that way. Like, she's had less matches as champion than when she was a non-champion. Because when she was a non-champion, she was on our TV every week. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, there wasn't enough people to fight. That's bullshit, because she had enough opponents to fight then. Like, when she first started when the pandemic was going on and she was at Daily every single week, she was forefronted in your face to the point where it was her and Shaq, and you were invested in that. And then she went up against Brandy Rhodes, and Brandy Rhodes was injured, and she was even getting in Cody's face. Like, a lot of people, the reason why they're not taking it seriously because the type of energy she had back then should have been given to her now. Like, why is she not, like, if we're gonna make Britt Baker a face, right? throwing it into the wind. I need for Jade to come up in Adam Cole's face and be like, tell your girlfriend I'm gonna beat her ass and I want her here next week. That's the type of energy we need. Why are we not getting that type of energy? And it's like something has to give as to where listen.
Did Uncle Hottie claim her camera?
Yeah, totally.
Let her be. Let her be the deciding factor in what goes on in her title reign at this point. Because at this point, y'all don't know what y'all doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's her.
No one knows what's going on.
But I just think, like I said, but you know, to the question, right, or the statement, the way Jade is being presented is how I would like to see the women's world champion presented. I would like to see her everywhere. I would like, you know, you can have the back and forth title ring, but just outside of the ring, you know, when she comes on TV, it needs to be a big deal. You know,
right?
That's all. You know, and I don't think that's the
They're
issue.
not giving her that because in the beginning, you can agree they were giving her that.
Who?
They were giving Jade that when she didn't have the title.
But I'm saying she's still crossover appealing. We can't act like
it's a visibility thing for you, Brian, right? Whereas like I see Jade, I don't see Jade.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. And I get it. Jamie's a new champion. She's a new face. Truthfully, it should have been flipped. But, you know, I think Jamie's, you know, like you said earlier, Jade should have been going for the world championship.
Right.
You know, that's why I'm not a fan of undefeated streaks for this reason right here, because you end up booked in a corner.
Because then when you think about it too, the only person that and if I'm going to be politically correct about this, the only person that I feel like is getting that appeal now without the belt is Britt. Because like Britt's on red carpets. Britt's doing the same thing. Britt's on red carpets. Britt's at the Super Bowl for the second time. Britt's still doing like radio appearances every single time they go to, but she does not have the belt. It would make more sense for it to be Jay versus Britt.
I always was waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
But it never fucking happened. But
never say never though, because what's the next pay-per-view?
True.
Look at it. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Next pay-per-view is Double or Nothing.
Exactly.
That's like May.
If you can't pitch that, if not to Double or Nothing, pitch that to your biggest pay-per-view, which is All Out, you're dropping the ball. You're dropping the ball. You're dropping it flat and not picking it up.
I 1,000% agree with that, and I really hope they do get Jade where she belongs and make some stories out of her dropping the belt. Like, you know, like take the time out to build that, because sometimes a lot of the things with the women can, like, you know, they don't put as much energy. Like the baddies breaking up, like that could have just like Kira Hogan, like so many missed opportunities. So I hope they do ultimately, you know, capitalize on that. But to close out. It's Women's Empowerment Month. So Black History Month, we spotlighted a Black woman every week that's making a splash in wrestling, and we're going to continue that every week. And it's March, so Women's Empowerment Month. But I think it's someone that everyone on this stream who is a fan of, and that is Miss Willow Nightingale.
Yes, sir.
She is, and I'm going to let Seindole talk about her because I know that she's a huge fan. I will quickly just say that she is so magical. I've seen her at a lot of indie shows before she was signed to AEW, and I would say the same exact thing. She comes out, she lights up a room, that smile, and then when she needs to get aggressive, she gets aggressive. Like, she is the complete package, and she is so warm and so nice. So it was a pleasure. Like, when you watch that glow up, like, there's no one, I shouldn't say no one, but seeing her thrive has been such a pleasure, and she's killing it. But Seindole, do you want to chat a little bit about her?
Yes, I do. We're talking. Yes, I do. Not only has it always been enjoyable watching her, of course, she's always tagged with the lovely Faye Jackson, who we spotlighted last time, is formerly known as Thick and Juicy. She's also the 3-time NYWC Starlet Champion. She's the NYWC Fusion Champion, which is the first event that I actually got to see her wrestle at. Was the pay-per-view that was years ago. She's also the Queens of Combat Tag Team Champion. And Chakra, she's ruled Chakra with an iron fist. And I tell you, not only does she shine inside the ring, I was so happy and elated to see that Tony Khan made the right choice by signing her to AEW. She's also a great person inside and out, full of charisma, full of spunk. But like I said, when she's ready to turn it up, she turns it up. And there's a lot of power in that purple hair. When it's purple, when it's blue, when it's pink, there's a lot of power in it. So I'm such a huge fan of Willow Nightingale. She's somebody that I, again, hope one day is in the title picture. If Tony and them know what the hell they're doing, she can even, and now as far as with Ring of Honor, my hope and chance is that she even becomes Ring of Honor Women's Champion. So I'm so glad you decided to spotlight Willow Nightingale. Such a huge fan. She's a big friend of the show. Every time she comes to Battle Club Pro, the people just absolutely love her. Hope to see her soon. Hopefully AEW is not putting no restrictions on that. And also shout out to us meeting her back in Philly. She was so nice to us, always warm. Just an overall great person.
She really is.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Willow Nightingale. Watching her, come up through the ranks and just really embracing who she is. You know what I mean? She's the proof that all Black women don't have to be the same. All women don't have to be the same. There is diversity within us as people. And I just love watching her wrestle. I remember she fought Roxanne at Ring of Honor's last pay-per-view. I forgot what it was called, but Final Battle.
Final Battle.
Yeah, the very last one. And this was the infamous night when Rev Ron and all the Shane Taylor promotions, along with Kenny King and Caprice Coleman, all got in the ring and did the fist, right? But we was there, and when I tell you Baltimore was behind Willow, this is the only time I've ever seen Roxy, now known as Roxanne, get booed, because everybody wanted to see Willow leave as champion that night. And if you talk about the culture dominating, and mind you, I've been to plenty of Ring of Honor shows. This is the first time where you could have seen it was about 50-50. But to see everybody on Willow, that was just amazing. And then when we went to Fight Club in 2022 last year, and she wrestled Chris Hitman for Hire, and when Willow turns up, y'all know when the straps go down, she's ready. And when she did the pounce on him, now if y'all know anything about Chris Hitman for Hire, he's a indie super heavyweight. You know what I mean? About 6'4", maybe about 6'1", maybe 280, 300 pounds. So when she did the pounce on him, the whole brewery went crazy. So I'm excited that we had the opportunity to give Willow her flowers as they're much deserved. As she's been out here just doing her thing, and it'd be cool to see one day Willow pull up to the club.
It would.
Manifesting.
We're gonna manifest that because we are huge fans of hers, and this is just the beginning of her career. And we're already talking about the connection she has with fans, and she actually had people root against a hometown hero. Like that's huge. So shout out to Willow Nightingale, and shout out to everyone that joined us, me and the crew, for a special day of fan club. We're normally here every Wednesday at 7, but it's obviously Tuesday. But everyone came. The club was open and everyone came through. Shout out to Jermaine and Mike and Andre and Rakarsha and Carlos and everyone that joined us tonight. Black Thoughts, Dylan, I want to say 13. The fan club is our weekly wrestling fan club. This is where wrestling fans come to talk their shit about wrestling, and we are always going to be here every week, exclusively on Twitch to recap news, recap pictures, all of that. So I'm gonna sign off. Queen PR, y'all know me. Check out our episodes. We concluded the Charlotte Flair trilogy finally. Carmella Spotlight is being worked on. So please stay tuned for that and let us know any Carmella moments that you love that we need to include. And of course, Thursday is our very special Thirsty Thursday to celebrate Krista B's birthday. It's on her actual birthday. So you gotta show up. You gotta show up, turn up with us, bring your drinks, bring your whatever you want to bring, and it's gonna be a party. Of course, we'll have a lot of special guests. It's gonna be a really good night. Special start time, 6 p.m. Eastern, everywhere. So subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed on Twitch and all that. And we have merch coming as well.
Woo-hoo!
Let's go.
So I would say between like tonight and tomorrow, we have Women's Empowerment Month inspired merch in partnership with foryourword.com. So make sure you tune in. Also, go to our new website, thosewrestlinggirls.com. It's where you can find everything that's going on in our universe, which is a lot. I'm sure I'm missing something that's going on, but make sure you follow Those Wrestling Girls. And we will be back next Wednesday, regular scheduled programming. Yeah.
We're logging off with this Miko Satomura versus Roxanne Perez match going on right now.
We can watch that as a family.
I know you want it to end, but I'm just like,
no, I didn't want it to end. I really wanted to make
and it was
sure
like, wait 5 minutes.
I made all the notes because we have a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, because the NXT ends at what 10 and it's now 9:56.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going over.
Yeah,
They go over on Tuesdays.
Yeah, they like to go over.
Remember Raw, you can like guarantee like 7 more minutes sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Championship entrance. This is what I'm talking about. Shout out to Alicia Taylor.
Who y'all got?
I think that's her name. I might have said it wrong.
it's Alicia Taylor. You got it right.
Come on,
I don't see Roxanne losing yet.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Swerve though. Swerve accolades NXT UK. Oh man, they took it off, but she was former NXT UK champion and Progress champion.
Yeah. Do they bring up indie shows on NXT?
Bro.
Oh, they're just starting. Oh, they're definitely going over.
100%
Yeah.
over. 100%.
How do y'all feel about the NXT Women's title belt? The way it looks.
I don't.
I like the colors.
I like the colors. I mean, it's come a long way from the first belt. For obvious reasons.
I don't like.
Yo, come on.
Oh, you going there?
You see wrong.
What you got against the first belt?
It is.
Justin.
I wasn't watching NXT like when at the press of, or like, you know, the Genesis. So like, yeah.
See the group.
It's not. I'm gonna say in the group chat. Justin, just pay attention to the group chat.
You gonna send them a link?
Yeah.
I'm about to say, yeah. Some of us been busy today.
It's not okay. All right. Just read the group chat in like 2 seconds, okay?
Ooh, all right.
I'm typing now. Y'all hear me typing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, I'm seeing more of Liv Morgan at the Knicks game, and like she's taking pictures back, like, you know, in the locker room, like shit.
Shout out to Liv Morgan.
That's cute. She cute.
I forgot about that.
Oh, that chat.
I don't wipe that image off my memory hard drive, and you brought it back.
Before the Oscar match, before that Oscar match, they changed that shit quick. They were like, nope, not new design.
Like, Becky Lynch glad she never was the champion.
Yo.
More people have done shit. It's just they were dumb enough to document it.
It's not even that. It's like somebody was sneaky enough to post that because, like, let's be real. If you want to do that, that's the privacy of your own stuff. Somebody was trying to come up off it, and we all knew who that was because only one person had a copy of all those tapes.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly,
not there no more.
Yeah. One person's there though, but I personally think he was
Y'all are
innocent.
nasty.
He was an innocent bystander in all of it, just for the simple fact of like
nasty. Word to Lacey Evans.
There have been people who've done much worse, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I ain't gotta see it though. Keep that shit in your own privacy. Don't document it for the world to eventually.
No,
see
it's funny because
when
I was talking, like I was like, "Oh, there's this thing in wrestling going on," and I have a cousin who like he don't give a fuck. He was like, "We're talking about it," and I was like, "Well, it can't be that bad." He was like, "Nope, it's bad. I found it." He starts showing the. He's like, "Nope, I found it. It's right here." I'm like, "Why are you showing everybody?" He's like, "Y'all talking about it. I want to see what the big fucking fuss is about." He was like, "Wrestlers having corn tapes. What else is new? It's wrestling." I was like, "Wow." He called it. He literally was like,
"Can we at least get a good one?"
He was like, "Listen, them having corn tapes." He was like, "Not the worst thing. I'm sorry." He was like, "Remember, there's somebody that like their entire family." So I was like, yeah.
No, we have no idea. Oh,
child.
Celebrities and mid.
We've had a jacked up 2 decades in wrestling when you really think about it. And the last was
our social media.
Yes, the worst has been this recent decade. Like, think about it. Half the stuff that, like, the worst that we had in our generation, and we're gonna be really real about it, was the whole Matt, Edge, and Lita thing. That was the worst thing. And then what happened with,
Are we talking just sexual things with wrestlers, or just like the worst thing like a wrestler's ever done? Because I come from the land of
breaking, like when keeping a kayfabe goes wrong. Worse. Those are the worst things in my mind.
So since I'm older, I go back to Snuka
and the murders,
the Snuka stuff, and the Dino Bravo and that stuff.
But it wasn't. But it wasn't as oversaturated in your face as it was those two situations.
Yeah, that's true.
That and the steroid trials. That's it. It's a good back and forth in this match.
It is.
Yeah, like the steroid trial back then was the in your face thing. The other two were like allegedly rumored and like the story, but like no one's really saying anything on it.
And then it was like, for me, with the whole Matt Hardy, Edge and Lita thing, it was only blown up because Matt Hardy blew it up. And now that I look back at all the facts, I'm like, yo, this is really not as big as it was supposed to be. I think he was just a little hurt and took it way too far. And then WWE kind of also ran with it a little too hard because Lita didn't deserve all of that, in my fair opinion. Like it went over, and then like Edge was the only one who really benefited off of everything.
Yeah, like especially at that time where the company was really behind Edge. Whereas like, yeah, of course.
Ooh. That was a nice transition.
No, these ladies are definitely going at it.
Oh yeah.
Roxanne's selling with her.
I'm happy for Roxanne. This is
me too. Ooh, nice.
So for those that probably haven't followed NXT in a minute, how did Mako become #1 contender to fight Roxanne for the title?
I think she just challenged her, right?
She challenged her after they were tag team partners.
It was a favor. It's like, okay, I did a favor to help, you, so now you owe me one.
Gotcha.
Which is good for Miko, because my fear with NXT UK ending was that they were just gonna like forget about her. Yeah. My opinion, but she also somebody I could see her going like mainstream, just solely based on the fact that her talent.
Yeah. Well, I think she could have been. I mean, her versus Asuka, they would cook.
They gotta leave that for a Clash at the Castle, or like they gotta leave that for a big PLE. They got to. They can't give me that on a Raw or a SmackDown. I need that on a PLE ASAP.
Well, manifesting, just like I'm still manifesting for Asuka and Io.
Oh, you're gonna get that more than likely, when Asuka wins the belt. Much as I don't want her to just yet, but I think
I
she
do.
does. You've been very vocal.
I don't think she's winning Mania. I thought I was 50-50, but the
No.
way the story's starting to pan out, it's like, nah, this feels like Bianca retains and then we kick off the feud. This is very Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, WrestleMania 34 vibes, where it's like this ain't.
I feel like there's certain people they would not allow to lose, which is what makes this whole scenario of matches interesting. Because I feel like for a while, Charlotte was somebody that was not allowed to lose at WrestleMania. Like she just
a Japanese wrestler has not won a world title at WrestleMania yet.
Exactly.
So
you put two people that literally cannot lose at WrestleMania in a match where they could potentially lose at WrestleMania.
Well, Asuka did lose though. That's why I think.
No. I'm not talking about.
I'm gonna say, yeah.
Oh,
I'm talking about Bianca and Charlotte.
Oh, well, I think Charlotte's losing. I think
Charlotte's lost before. Charlotte lost clean as a sheet at 33, where in that fatal that 4-way elimination match, she was the one that
1-on-1
at the end.
I enjoyed that match. I know a lot of people have like meh about it, but
will she lose 1-on-1?
Because
she didn't beat Ronda last year.
No, she beat Ronda last year. Yes, she did.
No, I said she did. I said, didn't she beat Ronda last year?
She did,
and then Ronda retained the next pay-per-view.
Like I remember that because Brock also lost, so that was the second time since they've had established the women's Royal Rumble that both the men's and women's Royal Rumble winners lost at Mania.
I forgot about that. I didn't even think about Brock winning the Rumble, and like I knew he won, but then after a while, by the time we got to Mania, I forgot he had won the Rumble.
Me too.
Because he had already had a title.
He had a picture regardless. Like
I hated that, but I understood.
I hated that entire build to Mania because someone put it on Twitter today, like, yo, they miss Big E, but then we were talking about biggest grievances of like wrestling things that's pissed you off over the last couple of years, and mine was like when Big E lost the title to Brock Lesnar at day one. Yeah. And you can see like Big E was like really hurt about that, and Brock didn't need to be in that match, and then it leads to Rumble where the Brock Bobby match, Roman gets involved, Brock loses the title, but then he hijacks the Rumble to win it, and that whole entire we're gonna. And
that pissed me off because that was the night that he threw that title at Vince McMahon. That pissed me off.
Yeah, so it was like we're gonna shoehorn Brock into this main event, and we're gonna shoehorn Brock to get this title, but the entire path was like,
who's more untouchable, Brock Lesnar or MJF? I should say Brock Lesnar to Vince McMahon or MJF to Tony Khan.
Well, Brock Lesnar is more respectful of the business from.
I know that. Who's untouchable though?
Who's untouchable?
At the moment,
which one of them?
At the moment, is MJF.
No, at the moment it's Brock Lesnar still. It's Brock Lesnar.
So here's why I'll go.
We're tossing because, like, for example, you can't toss MJF anywhere after this title reign. I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to. He'll just be a nuisance. Brock Lesnar, you can toss anywhere because he wants to be tossed anywhere.
No, like who to their man. I'm talking about not as in like losing in character wise. I'm talking unkayfabe to their manager who can do whatever they want and not get in trouble.
So here's why
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so here's why I'm saying MJF, because it's process elimination. Right now in AEW, Kenny just came back recently from all his injuries, suspensions, and stuff like that. Bryan Danielson's made it clear he does not want that AEW title, or he doesn't want a title. Moxley's had that title and has been like, can I just get some fucking PTO time? Hangman Page is taking a step back from where he was when he was a champion. CM Punk is no longer there at the moment. So right now, your top of your card is MJF. And you need people to fight MJF. And the way that AEW books, they don't just like, you're going to strip this title off of him on a random Dynamite or the next pay-per-view. They don't do like WWE shit where it's like, you never know what's going to happen day to day, week to week, month to month with the champion. They're more into long-term storytelling.
She almost had that.
He, like, MJF knows I am your only option right now, because who else is there? Kenny, you got to rebuild because Kenny was in the trios for a while. Hangman, you're still rebuilding. Ricky Starks, you're rebuilding. Jericho's been taking L's. You have no one at the top of the card. You're stuck with me as your champion, and I know that you're stuck with me as champion. With Brock, there's other options they can always go.
Mhm.
And even Brock has no problem taking L's and falling in the background. MJF is like, I am your guy, and you know it, and that's why you gotta deal with my shit.
Ooh.
That's the thing right there. That's the thing right there.
Who knows? Maybe it's Ricky Starks in a couple months. Maybe it's Hangman that comes back in the title picture. Maybe it's
man.
a random signing we don't see coming. Maybe they elevate Kenny back into the top of the card. Maybe it's.
I think they're done with random signings for a while, though.
But right now, MJ is gonna be your champion. I wouldn't be surprised he's your champion going all the way to Grand Slam, which is usually like September.
Sorry.
Agreed. How's the match?
It's a match.
It's a good match.
It's not
I'm
bad.
probably
It's
behind.
a good match.
I'm probably behind everyone else. This is a solid match. They're working.
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah,
Looks like they're putting on a clinic.
As they say.
As they say, a clinic. It's a great clinic, as Jim Cornette would say. I like back four.
We've been getting some good women's matches these last couple of days. Between
Yeah.
Rhea Liv, between Raw, between the triple threat at Revolution, between this match right now, we've been getting some good women's wrestling.
It still pays the question for that triple threat. Like, where do you guys see that the staple going? That was a fail, but okay. That was a botch. That was a really bad botch.
Which
That hurt Roxanne more than it hurt Miko. Woo!
Oh, see, Antenna's dialed in, hold on.
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. I'm real dialed in because y'all know me. I feel like I'm doing a scorecard. I'm not even supposed to be doing a scorecard, but
Wait, this is how the match ends? I was like, yeah, replay, because wait, was someone huh? Oh damn, she got the throat. You gonna hold this foot?
Ooh. Yeah. On that note, let's go home.
Oh,
She took a beating.
she did. Yeah, Rough Warriors, just 21. This is like some Sasha shit. Whereas like she's got so
Be the
much.
prodigy.
she's a prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I do too.
Wow, that was good.
Wait a minute.
All right.
Good for
Hold
her.
All right.
Yeah, I'm holding on just
She
in
took
case
an ass
there's
kicking, though.
post-match stuff.
She did.
She took an ass kicking. Because that was straight to the throat.
That was a kick.
Jeez.
Good night, everybody. Oh, shit.
You're ahead. Wait, they got like 20,000 revs. What the?
She passed out. So you up? It's caught up, Seindole?
I'm still watching replays.
Oh.
I'm on the last replays where she pinned her.
You'll mute me so I can update the people so we can go home. Roxanne passed out after the post-match celebration, so now they're working on her in the ring.
Oh wow! Okay.
But like the replays showed it. This is definitely a work.
Yeah, like they got the refs and the docs, and they just got the stretcher.
Yeah, because the replays they kept showing every time she got hit, she kept getting hit in the neck or the head. So
they just showed Booker. Booker just took off the headphones and got in the ring.
He's. I get it. You know what?
We're gonna say that for another fan club.
Yeah.
You just pass out?
Oh, you really behind.
Jeez.
All right.
All right, y'all.
This was fun. I like Tuesdays.
Tuesdays is cool.
Tuesday was cool.
Premium live fan clubs.
Yes.
Y'all are weird. What are y'all? You know what? Never
What?
mind.
What we
Y'all
about
weird.
Premium Live Fan Clubs?
What do you mean y'all weird? What do you mean by y'all?
Tuesdays
I watch something that I'm missing right now.
I don't know. But where can everybody find y'all?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at It's Justin Rich. You can find me here normally Wednesday nights, unless we have special times, for those Wrestling Girls Fan Club on Twitch from 7 to 9 with these three amazing, beautiful people. You can catch me on Twitter Spaces Tuesday nights at 6:35 for Turnbuckle Talk with Mimi and Corey. That's why I was a little late because we were doing that. Having a nice, healthy conversation about AEW Revolution, Raw, and SmackDown. Catch me from time to time on True Heel Heat Sports and True Heel Heat Wrestling. Both channels can be located on YouTube. We here, we outside, we active. Log off and touch grass from time to time. Wrestling Twitter.
We touched the grass in DC.
Mm-hmm.
We did more than touch grass. We had a ball.
They wasn't there, but yeah, this was cool. I don't have to go to work the night after the fan club. I can go to the after party. But you can find me at Brian H. Waters and all social media platforms tomorrow, Wednesday, worldwide. Make sure you check us out on the Ring of Wrestling Network. And then check me out on the Wrestling Around Now podcast. Also check me out on Breaking Through Glass Ceilings. I'm gonna tell the fan club. Guess who's coming up next on not next, but next week on Breaking Through Glass Ceilings? Somebody who is very familiar with those wrestling girls in the wrestling realm and all of the wrestling community, and that is the one and only Miss Queen Stephanie Hardy.
Ooh.
Excited to be bringing her in. So yeah, make sure y'all subscribe to that podcast as well. And yeah, Google me.
Do your Googles, people.
Do your Google, people, and as you already know, this is your honorary wrestling girl, Seindole. You can catch me every Wednesday, traditionally, on the TWG Fan Club with the bestest friends that anybody can have. You can also catch me on my Instagram at reload.relive, on Twitter, on, like per usual, talking my shit, spewing my views, Reload via Film. You can also catch up with my nonprofit called the Well Minority. Thank you to all those who donated on Instagram too. We actually hit our $100 mark, and as promised, the Well Minority will be matching that money and handed to write in her arm with love. Also, you can catch me next Monday with my girl All Elite Keeks with that very special guest that I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna let my girl Keeks talk that talk. And you can catch me on a whole bunch of other projects. Please keep them booked and busy so you can learn a thing or two from me and my girls TWG, so you can be booked and busy too.
So we will first see everyone on Thursday for Krista B's Thirsty Thursday celebration, and then we'll catch you guys here next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern in TWG Fan Club, and let's close the club up. We'll see you.
The party is over. The
Club is closed.
We need a leaving club song.
You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here.